Good evening, everyone. I can see it's going to be a very strange night for anyone listening. There's no official name for the night show. It's just a Christmas party, and movie people coming and going. I know Laura Lee and them said they're going to join us later, and I got a couple other invites and was sent out. I'm going to send out a couple of invites. And friends, if you want to call in later on, y'all can. 504-273-7379. Not damn, it's been that long since I said that number. I've almost forgot that damn thing. But anyway, it's going to be an open topic line tonight. So if y'all want to get involved, you can. If not, no politics, but anything else you want to talk about, like who is your favorite ho-ho? Man, I can think of some good ones. There's some fine-ass ho-hos running around out there. And, somebody asked me just yesterday, who's your favorite Santa Claus? I said, I don't know, but I can tell you who my favorite elf is. And he's like, well, what do you mean your favorite elf? I said, ho-ho's helpers. It's like, I can tell, especially if they got a nice, cigar and some whiskey there, have a sit down, watch the fire.
Again with the whiskey. I'm having a deja vu.
Back to the whiskey.
Well, I got my, what the hell? Now I forgot the name of that whiskey again, but I got my new whiskey in yesterday, and I actually couldn't help myself. I had to open it. Anything that's $300 a bottle, I got to taste it. So I'm like, it's very nice, very mellow. Oh, man. I might even put a shot in this coffee later. But, no, I got Irish cream in there, better not. But anyway, it was pretty good. But, and by the way, people, send me whatever you want. I like free booze, and I like free cigars, and, I would really appreciate a free computer, but I'll settle for the cigars and the booze. But it's we get a lot of people write into us and suggest things and want to send things, and there are some things that are unacceptable. I am married, so please. My wife hates when certain body part closings and shit show up at the house. She doesn't find it. Oh, well, let's just put it this way. She's not happy about it, okay? And leave it at that. And over the years, I got to say, I mean, I have had, several people at the time. I've had people send me flowers, which is very flattering. I've had people send me pizzas, which is a little, good because I like to eat. And matter of fact, Michael, a mutual friend of ours, the very first time I ever met her, she sent me a pizza. Come to think about it.
Uh-oh.
Yes. Beware of people sending pizzas is all I can say now.
She got her own man cage going on. She's trying to lure you in with pizza, man. I'm not going into any cage eating pizza. Let me tell you, man, I am too smart for that. Besides, I'm too big. I'm fitting cages.
I was offered a speaking gig in Staten Island. I said, what? The guy said,
we're on the cage talk. People don't know what the hell we're talking about.
The guy goes, well, we'll fly you up. It's $2,500 for the weekend. We'll put you up in a hotel. You do your speaking gig, and it's on Staten Island. So he's talking about Staten Island. I'm like, nope. He's like, why, man? I was like, no. I said, I know somebody who lives in it, and it's a good chance that I'll run into her. So I'd rather not go. I'll just give him the money, and I'm not going.
She used to call me 4 o'clock in the morning and be like, come on down, you sexy bastard, and have some Chinese food. I'm like, what? I'm 5 hours away. Number 2, no.
She just wanted a little Christmas cheer, man. That's all, Mike. Just a little Christmas cheer. She wanted a little Christmas cheer in her life. She had the reindeer heads and the dogs and stuff. She's ready to go. Speaking of mine,
she wants her Christmas goose, and I wasn't falling for that either, man.
Anybody want a slightly insane female chihuahua?
Batting 1,000.
I'm telling you, I got a female chihuahua. Y'all can have them. Give her up, man. She's lost her mind.
If you're broke at Christmas, you need a new religion. That's all I'm saying. All I'm saying. People are like, I'm so broke at Christmas. I'm like, you need a new religion. You can't change that up, man. I don't know. So what are we talking about the Christmas show?
Well, first off, as everybody, I'm assuming most everybody's staying home or close to home for Christmas, for lack of
COVID Christmas.
COVID Christmas. I'll get Christmas Day. We'll probably be at home. I'll probably cook. Speaking of this little side story, y'all. There's a place called Conn's Home Goods, right, or whatever the hell they're called. So they write me the other day. So, you got to come in. We want to hook you up on this good deal, credit deal. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to go look what they got. And so I go out, I got to get a new stove because damn hurricane racked my stove. And I finally found out what I'm going to get insurance-wise, which we'll see how that works out. But so I'll go get me a new stove. And while I was there, I decided, you know what, I need to get a computer. I was going to let the listeners pay for it, man. I decided, I'm just going to get one. I'm getting a stove. I might as well get a new computer. Found a nice 6-core Windows 10, run 16 gigs of RAM. I was like, okay. So she says $497. I'm like, in big sign says $497. I said, okay. So I'm sitting there letting them write everything out. I'm buying $1,000 stove from him and a $500 computer, $1,500, right? Plus tax and everything. And with fees you're going to get charged. And so this is probably about a $2,500 deal for them. So we're talking. So the lady comes back. She says, oh, the computer's a different price. I'm like, oh, really? She says it's about $200 more. I'm like, oh, really? Well, you can keep the computer. So I'm sitting there thinking about it. And then she comes back and she goes, oh, and you live 30 minutes away, so it's a $75 delivery charge. So y'all said it was free delivery. And I said, I know y'all delivered to the east, which is actually further than where I live in the past. Oh, it's the delivery people. I said, you know what? I said, I'll just go home and use my Home Depot card and go buy me a new stove. And I said, I'll just let the station pay for the new computer. Or I'll get one online. But you just lost a serious sale over probably about $100. And then my phone started ringing after that. So tomorrow I'm going to be real sweet. And I'm going to pick up the phone, give them some Christmas cheer, and call them and say, hey, hi. My name is Joe Montalvo. I'm the owner of United Public Radio, and I was in your store yesterday. And before I go live tonight, I would like to have a little conversation with you about what went on in your store. Well, it's because I tell this to people all the time. You never know who you're talking to. I learned as a young man, you never know who the person is you're talking to. It could be just some bum on the street. It could be somebody important. You should never judge a book by the way somebody's dressed, because my dad was famous for, like, on Saturdays and Sundays bumming around. So he looked like old poor Dago, and this bitch was a millionaire. So it's just, you got to be careful with that. And I'm, and when I'm in work clothes, people just assume, because a lot of times if I'm wearing jeans with paint on them or a shirt with paint on them, they say, oh, he's just some laborer somewhere. They don't understand I own the damn business or both the businesses, but that's fine. Yeah, which just gives me an advantage on them to start off with. And then when I introduce myself as the owner of the radio network, they're like, oh wow, oh hi, and then instantly they tell their boss and everybody, oh, he owns a radio network. And and then when I tell, and then the guy yesterday, I said, and I love saying this, this just irritates supervisors beyond all. I said, it's one of my favorite things. My voice will get all nice and soft, and I say, before this conversation really goes any further, and you probably get fired, I would look up my name. I said, just look it up. And I said, look on how many places my name is located on. I said, currently, when you search my name on Google, it's anywhere from 200,000 to 2 million right off the bat. I said, do you really, really, really want to make me mad? Because I want you to have a Merry Christmas, and so do I. But if you make me pissed, I'm going to become Ebenezer Scrooge on your ass. I'm just saying, it's gonna
don't do Ebenezer.
Yeah, what is this? I hear you've been caged up, man. Dude, what's going on up there in Canada? Somebody told me they put you in a cage, man.
Yes, I was locked up. Still trying to find lights.
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
He was forced to drink Canadian whiskey too, man. Horrible.
Not so bad. Not so bad.
Says the person who has never tried anything else.
What's it?
I drink whiskey.
Oh boy.
In a blue ass mood. So,
with shit like that.
I spend my life on like multiple radio shows. I can't ever drink. Just it would go bad really quick.
Now, for the 2012, the End of the World party that Giorgio Sukliov did in New Orleans, I still remember. We went down the first time. I brought some friends with me. We were working press, and I hadn't seen Giorgio. And people are like, don't I know you? Don't I know you? Yeah, seen you in here. I said, yeah. And so we're drinking and doing shit. So we come back later on, and we've been sitting at the bar drinking with a whole shitload of people. And I forgot who was working the camera, but the camera and the video and the audio feed was going. It was live, actually. So all of a sudden, my phone says, like, what the hell? Man, this is like people, there's like 40 people trying to call into Skype. I'm like, what the hell is going on, man? And it went really downhill from that point. But I can't say, because this is a family-rated show tonight. So all I can tell you is it went downhill from that point really quickly.
You didn't get him drunk and give him a haircut? None of that going on?
It was a very interesting. I forgot somebody got naked. And yeah, somebody got naked. I forgot who it was. I got naked.
Naked
One of
and
the hosts.
haircuts doesn't sound like very
And,
promising.
somebody got a Christmas tattoo on their ass. We're not gonna say who that was. Wasn't me. No, it wasn't me. People, I'm not into tats. I just one of those things. People like it, some people don't. My problem is my personality is too it changes too much. I thought when I was in the Navy, I'm gonna get this, and this on my chest. You know, there's a good thing going on. Everybody did it. I'm like, yeah, I'll get it done. And I was sitting there, and I still remember this petty officer. He said, you know, Joe. He said, I listened to you, and you're kind of hyper. He said, nah. He was being polite. Then he goes, he's like, I don't know if you should get a tat, man. He said, because, 2 years from now, you might think it's something else. You might get into this, that, and another thing. And he was right, because I was going to get a eagle on my chest holding a can of beer in 3 joints, which, in today's world would have been just stupid. And then I thought about getting another one. And then I'm just like, nope, he's right. Over the years, everything I had thought I wanted when I was in my 20s, I would have hated in my 50s. Just like it's not going to work for me. At least I was smart enough, people. Who's your favorite? Oh, well, I don't know who my favorite Christmas character is. Who's yours, Jay?
Michael.
Michelle thinks it's Michael.
I gotta say, as dumb as it is, the Grinch.
I'm the Christmas character.
Hey, look, Michelle likes the Grinch.
Yeah,
I love the Grinch.
It's funny.
She's having an affair with Wayne. If you're listening, she's having an affair with the Grinch, buddy. I just tell you something about that.
I'm talking the original. I believe it came out in '66, which is when I was born, and I believe the song that they sing about the Grinch. You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. I think that's Boris Karloff singing, but they have it listed as Thurl Ravenscroft. So I think that's an acronym for him.
It is.
Having credit for the song.
That's right. It did sound a lot like Boris Karloff.
He narrates the whole show, and I think he sings that song, but he doesn't want the credit as his movie name, Boris Karloff. So they came up with Thurl Ravenscroft.
It was one of my favorite cartoons, and a lot of it had to do with that too. I love the Grinch.
Yeah. When I found out it was Boris Karloff, I freaked. The Dracula played the Grinch or narrated the Grinch.
I know, it's the best part.
I'm a Krampus fan myself, man.
Who's fan?
A Krampus Christmas is best.
Krampus is cool.
We've talked about Krampus a few times.
Krampus is cool.
Yeah, Krampus is really cool.
Keep kids in line. Yeah.
He's been getting a workout lately, I think, with the COVID kids. The Russian elf. What the hell's a Russian elf? Is an elf's an elf? Man. What are you talking about? The Russian elf?
Vladimir Putin, little elf.
And guys, the YouTube. Shit. He's not an elf. Come on now. He's not an elf. He's something far eviler than a freaking elf.
Little elf.
Honest about this.
He's short, man. He's little like Yngwie Malmsteen. He's a little tiny guy.
He's stocky though.
Oh, you know what he is?
Little short, stocky elf.
That's what he is. He's a gnome. With a little pointy hat on him, and he's a gnome.
I don't like gnomes. I'm just going to put that out there.
I'm just saying, that's
not a fan of the gnome folk. Wait. Nope.
Russia, we're sorry, Russia. Nope. We love you, but Putin is a gnome. Just y'all been fooled, man. I just thought I'd tell y'all that.
Yeah.
And don't write us about Trump because he's gone in 20 days, so can't use that anymore. You have to wait till the other guy gets in for a while.
Gosh.
But I was going to say is the YouTube chat room's open if you want to go in there. I see a couple of y'all and you've over by.
I'm in it.
No, I can see Trump as the Grinch, man. He's Grinch. He's got the Grinch face. He acts like him. He can act like him.
Trump is laughing his left one completely.
The hair's all wrong for the Grinch.
This guy's been making
going on for
$8 billion when he
hates animals.
Too orange.
Trump
is more of an Ebenezer Scrooge because Scrooge was rich, and so is Trump.
That's right. Watch how much richer Trump is.
Work the hair
in 3 years.
Yeah, but Scrooge learned his lesson. Trump didn't learn his lesson. Scrooge had one good day.
This sounds a lot like the P word, man. Let's move away from that. Move on to something else. It just sounds a lot like the P word.
We just talk about Christmas. That's all.
Favorite Christmas drink? Ooh, I can't use it. It's not G-rated. Or it's not PG-13.
Favorite what? What am I missing?
PG-17.
Say it again.
I'm sorry.
Say it again.
Favorite Christmas drink?
I'm not talking.
It's a peppered flavored chocolate screaming orgasm.
So of course, around holidays, that's when
It's
a
like a
lot of
flavor.
spirits start popping up, man. A lot of people have visitations from family members, people who passed around holidays. It's often been my experience before, during, and after. They're hanging around. You think those spirits just want to come and visit, and it's merriment. They're having a good time.
Yeah, they are, man. They're like, let me possess this drunken, hungover SOB. I always think about this on holidays. So if you're possessing somebody, like I'm gonna jump in that spirit. This guy's walking down Bourbon Street. He's been smoking, drinking, popping. So this unexpected ghost pops into this poor ghost. Don't even know what the hell the deal is. He's like loaded off his head. Whoa, what the hell is this, man?
I picked the wrong one.
It's a whole new world here.
I picked the
Then
wrong
you're
body.
stuck in there. You're stuck in there, right?
Ends up sitting in the can and wastes his whole night. Poor ghost.
The guy just getting arrested and locked up. There's demons in there. Like, damn,
Exactly.
can't get out of here. Let me out.
Haunted, so it's do all the ghosts come sitting back. There's been even one of my good friends. He got locked up one night. He's sitting in jail. He said, "Joe, somebody kept sitting next to me and touching me. I thought I was gonna get in a fight. I'm like, yeah, you can be touching me out because he's little. He's about 5'9", 5'8", he's a little guy, and he's probably back then probably about $150, and he's just a scrappy little bastard. I'm like, dude, there was nobody in the tank with you. We were watching you. You kept falling asleep because we ended up waiting an extra 4 hours because some bitch fell asleep twice when they called his name. And they just went past him after calling his name. I wanted to just reach back there because you could see him. I just wanted to choke his little ass. He's like, no, I'm telling you. Just go. So I said, what happened? Some ghost possessed you? Is that what you're telling me, dude? I said, whatever you was doing that night, you need to share with the rest of this crew. Yeah, I said, because obviously you was on something better than the rest of us. But he swears to this day that there was a ghost sitting there next to him. He said he kept talking to me. And then I felt like I was just falling into him sometimes. I was like, you were falling into something. I don't think it was a ghosty, though.
No whiskey.
Yeah. The night on Bourbon Street, got his ass arrested.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. There's parts of that street you fall in something. You might fall in the wrong thing.
It's I tell tourists all the time.
What's it out there?
It's best to find a local. Keep your ass.
Big gay area over there too, right?
There is a big gay, but they party, man. They festy down there, though, man. You want to see Christmas festy? They down there, man. Painted up like Christmas trees and shit. Naked as a jaybird. Painted like a Christmas tree.
I'm still trying to figure out why Old Navy has a transvestite as their spokesperson, man. I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm against it or not. I probably shouldn't even have an opinion these days, necessarily.
Yeah, put some reindeer ears on him. You'll be all right.
It doesn't make me want to go there and buy anything. That's all I'm saying.
Most of the commercials I see on TV don't want to make me go buy anything, so that's not so much a thing.
Like if Dunkin' Donuts had a transvestite, that's like it fits perfectly. You know what I mean? But Old Navy, like you gotta know where to place your trannies, man.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I can't believe we're even having this conversation. Just saying, okay?
It's Christmas too.
I don't like it anyway. Even if whether they had Paul as a spokesperson or not, but ever since they had their commercial, they've never shown a fashion on any of their commercials that I would ever want to wear, B, want to buy, or C, even go to the store to look at. So
don't be saying that because all Dell wears is Old Navy now. Come on, y'all be nice. Dell loves that Old Navy shit.
It doesn't.
I don't think of it in an Old Navy store, by the way. So I can't say.
It's good. It's good. It's good material. It doesn't get hooked on the cage. You know what I mean? Like you don't want to get stuck. You don't want to be in a cage and get stuck. Now that would suck.
You don't freeze to the bars.
I triple dog dare you.
I was asking some of my Yankee friends this question the other day. I said, how many of y'all as a young kid stuck your tongue on something frozen? And I said, don't lie, because I know if you're going to lie.
I was like, that was me.
No, I mean, stuck it to like a pipe or some window or something.
Only ice cream.
Every one of them had to say yes. I was laughing.
No, there'd always be one stupid kid in the crowd that would do it, though. That's why it's funny. Because there's always one kid in the crowd, always one that would, I dare you. And there's always one that would do it.
I just wanted to know that Southern kids do stupid shit like that, too.
I can't say it's ever happened to me. No. I was always the logical one. It's like, no, don't do that. That doesn't even look like it would work. It's not a good thing.
Besides,
I think it was a guy thing. The girls would stand back and the guys like move aside. It's like, all right, you do
I
it.
want to see something funny. You come down to Mardi Gras and you watch drunk people try to climb up the light poles when they're greased down because they're drunk as hell and they cannot figure out why they can't get up this pole. I mean, that's some of the best videos I've ever got from was these people are just idiots. You're like, hey, dude, you know there's grease on the pole. Oh, really? Oh, I was wondering. And they go right back to trying to get up the pole. Idiots.
There's no reasoning with some drunk people. That's all it is.
That's right.
Well,
Try freezing them. See what happens.
Well, you know, since a lot of them like to try to get naked and climb the poles, that could be a bad thing. So I could see certain things stuck to the pole would not be.
Yeah, you don't want to go to the New Orleans drunk tank greased up and naked.
Oh, yeah. That's a bad thing. Will probably
that
happen.
will only end badly.
Yeah. I can't think in any way,
Nothing
but
good would ever come out of that situation.
That would be like a great bumper sticker, you know. That tells a story right there.
Marsha Lark is writing in from somewhere in England, and she just said somewhere in England, and she wanted to know where's the scariest place you've ever spent Christmas. A Christmas at actually.
England. At her house.
Everything's scary in England.
Locked in her cage.
I don't think I've ever been.
They set me free because of COVID.
Yeah, it could be at home with COVID for sure this year.
I don't think I've ever been.
Scariest place for Christmas? That was my house last year. That was horrible.
Well, New Orleans is pretty scary haunted. So I'm pretty much sure you're already there, Joe.
But I mean, I'm trying to think any kind of like Christmas thing where there's been something going on paranormal. I really can't think of any. I mean,
just look. You know what? Just look for the massacre, man. And go there. Whatever Christmas massacre that ever happened, and go there. I'm thinking Gettysburg. That's a place to go. You know, that other one down there too, where like they resorted to cannibalism.
Man, I ain't going to Gettysburg. Last time I went to Gettysburg, the ghost ran away.
I love Gettysburg.
They left.
Been there a couple of times.
We had
great.
Four good psychic.
Go to Valley Forge,
dude.
Valley Forge, man. They were eating people. Even Washington said that he liked the taste. You know,
of long pig. He likes to taste a long pig.
Yeah, he said that, man.
That's what they called you.
He liked that bacon. Got that bacon going. He said it was tasty. Think you developed a taste of that afterwards?
Nobody for Christmas. So just get on what are you going to put some cranberry on? I think that's going to have to go on down the road there, man.
If you ask me, how can you eat people? I'm going to say slice them thin. That's all.
You're hating on people. People do not.
You're from New Orleans, man. You guys down New Orleans you got a sauce for everything down there, man.
Somebody send Mike a Christmas turkey.
New Orleans barbecue.
And it's just bread
New York, send him a Christmas turkey.
Oh.
Send the poor man some food. Obviously, he's hungry. I'll send you some food. Send him some. What do you mean? Put him in a cage?
A little bit of Jeffrey Dahmer sausage.
Somebody said they're gonna put you in a cage, Michael. I'm not exactly sure what that means, but
Jeffrey Dahmer's neighbors said I never saw him go in and out with groceries, just condiments. I'm like, oh man.
He was hungry.
He likes the ketchup and mustard.
So who's haunting him? Yeah, I mean, seriously, who's haunting him?
Dead quiet.
Who's he haunting?
Yeah,
he's probably haunting some McDonald's.
Too. Yeah, but I mean, so if he's on the other side, is something haunting him on the other side? That would be interesting.
Yeah, and I can agree with you, Joe. I can't think of any Christmas Day or Christmas time scary thing, but Christmas season. The year I saw Bigfoot was at my cousin's house in Ohio, and that scared the crap out of all of us. You probably heard the story, but the rest of you guys haven't. We were at my whole family went to Ohio, and like my family split up between two of my cousins' house. I was with my cousins in Boardman, Ohio, and my brother and sister were over in Canton, Ohio. My parents were in Youngstown, and we were all over the place for Christmas, or for Thanksgiving rather. So it's the Christmas season, traditionally that's when the season starts. And we're all playing in this one second-story bedroom, and I smell like poo, like nasty, like a diaper exploded kind of poo. So I tell my oldest cousin in the room, hey, I think one of your baby brother or sister has soiled their underpants. And he starts looking at the two twins that were actual babies wearing diapers. And that's when I noticed Bigfoot looking in the window. We're on the second story, by the way, again, second story. And I see this face, this man's face with this dreadlock hair and mustache and beard. And he's got a face like, oh, this is cool. He's like happy looking face. And then he sees me seeing him, and his face went from, awestruck surprise to wonder, like watching us play, to anger. And he screamed at me, did a belt up, their howl. And I'll never forget that. If I hear a Bigfoot thing on one of those Bigfoot shows where the howls go on, the real ones, I know if it's real or not. But he screamed at me. Everyone stopped and looked and saw this face going at us. And we ran downstairs to where the babysitter was because all the parents are up for dinner. And we see this 10-foot or 11-foot tall Bigfoot jump off of this clubhouse in the back of the house, hits the ground. We felt him hit the ground, and we're inside the house. So
wow.
He sent a tremor through the floorboards. And then he took 3 steps, and he's out of this half-acre backyard. The babysitter screaming her head off. The kids, the younger kids, are screaming their head off. My cousin Mike and I are trying to get out the door fast enough to try to catch him, and we couldn't unlock the door fast enough. And so that's probably the scariest thing. That's Christmas season, and I'll never forget. The hair on the back of my neck right now is standing up. But
how old were you?
8 or 9.
Oh my gosh, that would have been traumatizing.
Yeah, well, I had already started working or looking at the UFO and Bigfoot stuff back then. In 72 or 3, we had a hurricane come through Maryland, Hurricane Agnes, and we had just moved into the house we were in. And my parents were avid book readers, so they had thousands of books in the basement, which flooded. So we had like a 3-foot, 4-foot pool in our house, indoor pool, and they lost most of their books, but they salvaged a good bit of them. And the first book, when I was bored, we had no power for like 10 days. So what do you do when you're a 6-7-year-old kid? You play games, you get tired of those. So I start looking through the boxes of books that my dad saved, and one of the first books I pulled out was Chariots of the Gods.
Wow.
And to leaf through it. I didn't read it. I was 6 or 7. I didn't read it, but I looked through all the pictures, and I saw there's a picture of it's a rock in Guatemala with a gear cog carved into it. And I thought, as a 7-year-old kid, I'm like, that's kind of weird. Nobody, they didn't have gears back then. They didn't have watches. So why is that there? So that kind of started it. And then I was already interested in Bigfoot. We had seen the movie, Peter Graves was the narrator, Man, Myth, or Monster. It talks about aliens and Bigfoot and Loch Ness Monster and what have you. And then later on that year, we were in Ohio, and there's Bigfoot staring me right in the face. And he was like 10 feet away from me. So, forget that.
So it screams at you, and you're ready to chase him.
My
you try to talk to him?
Like younger than me. We were trying to get out the back door to find this thing.
That's what I mean.
At first, we thought it was his dad. His dad was like 6'2", 6'3", and we thought, maybe his dad came by just to play a practical joke on us. He's in a gorilla suit, so we weren't going to beat the crap out of him, But it wasn't him. All the parents were at this big dinner at this fancy restaurant with my grandparents, my aunts and uncles. So it wasn't anyone we knew. And this guy, this Bigfoot, had to at least be 11 feet tall, because we were in the second story, and there was a little clubhouse. I had the clubhouse at my house in Maryland, and my cousin had the same clubhouse. He was standing on it, and he bent the boards in the roof. Wow. Where he's standing. He had been standing on it and then leaning over and touching the house. And there were 2 big handprints where he had put his hands on the siding of the house as he was looking in the window. So and it was at least a 4-foot high toy roof. So he had to have at least been 6 feet, 10 feet to cross the gap from the clubhouse to the actual house. A 10-foot creature probably couldn't have done it, but 11, 12 foot are easy.
Did you find footprints after that? The next day, did you go? Really?
The very next day, all the kids, the babies didn't come with us, but my 3 cousins, Mike, Brian, and Shawnee, we went out. Look, when we could see where he landed on the ground, he jumped into a sand pit. They had a sandbox right next to the house, and you could see where he landed there, and they were deep. I mean, it was 2 inches, 3 inches deep. And we followed his tracks through the backyards into the woods. There was a creek that he must have gone left or right on. At that point, we lost his we couldn't find him.
Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, that would be a little bit unnerving. I can't say that I'd be trying to head for the hills looking for him in the dark.
Well,
What are you on about?
I knew it was Bigfoot afterwards, but when it happened, my cousin and I, we had to think it was his dad trying to just play a joke on us. But there's no way his dad left a 4-inch deep, barefoot hole in the sand. And we put our hands in some of the prints. They were, my hands are big now, but we put like 3 or 4 of our hands in these footprints. So they were, 14, 15, 18 inches wide at least.
Call him Bigfoot, man. You sure wasn't Michael Angley? He might have been up there. He might have been out there.
I got size 15s, man. It could be. I like to look in windows.
I would say more than
I like to look in windows of people's houses. Very entertaining doing that.
Oh, that's good to know.
TV.
Yeah, it might have been one of them days he was lost. No commercial. For a couple of weeks, all hairy.
Commercial free.
Well, there's plenty of stories where Bigfoot is attracted to the sounds of kids
Harry?
playing.
No, that's not me. I'm kind of smooth, man.
That's true.
Maybe Stephanie.
Yeah. But yet,
I think we know who the Bigfoot was.
He looks so happy, and then he realizes that you're looking at him, and it's like, okay.
That's he realized he was caught. Yeah, that's when he got mad. Yeah.
Yeah, well, a little hard to miss, because I mean, a head on something that would be like, that's.
It was a large head. I mean, but it was 100% human shaped. Human nose, human eyes, human ears, human mouth, and it had like a huge long mustache. This part of his face was bare. Between the mustache and
he just described.
It wasn't fully
he
hairy.
Just described everyone in Ohio.
Huh?
He just described everybody in Ohio. That kind of covers him. I drove through a few times.
Yeah. Oh. Did he jump on his Harley?
Especially at those convenience stores, man.
Yeah.
No, he didn't have a Harley. He had 2 big 23-foot feet. He literally the backyard they had was pretty large, and there was 3 houses. We followed him through three backyards. He took literally 2 or 3 bounds, and he was out of our backyard.
Mm-hmm.
And then I guess he must have done 2 or 3 steps to the next backyard and the next backyard, because we only found so many footprints. But we followed direct. I mean, the ground was kind of wet, not frozen, because it had been raining and kind of snowy that week. But there was no snow on the ground. But he left definite. I mean, he was running, so he left definite deep impressions. After the sand, they were probably about an inch and a half deep in the ground. So he had to weigh 800-900 pounds easy.
God, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's hard to fathom. Like it really is. It's hard to fathom that there are these. I think pretty incredible beings. The fact that he was even curious enough to come up to the house to me is interesting. Because normally, like they like to watch from afar.
Fine house and didn't destroy it. I mean, it didn't collapse under his weight. Is amazing. A and B that he jumped off of it into a sand pit and left 4-foot deep impressions. Mm-hmm. And
that's a lot of weight.
And it was amazing how fast the creature was. And I stopped researching Bigfoot at that point. And I still look at documentaries from now and again to interesting. I watched Matt Moneymaker's show because it was interesting, but I don't have to look anymore. I don't have to find the creature. I have seen it. It's a real creature. And there's all these new theories that, the reason why we can't find him is he can, phase in and out of time or phase in and out of this universe or whatever.
Tons of theories.
That's true. He's not a Wookiee. He's not.
Damn it!
I got a question. I got a question.
It's ruined for me.
He's the inspiration for Chewbacca, but he's not a Chewbacca.
Yeah.
I got a question for you, Jay. Do you think that Bigfoot is sexually confused?
No, I don't think so, because they don't capture our women. The only people they've ever captured is a few
women are not
hunters
hairy
out in the wild, and that's it.
Yeah.
Lloyd Pye always thought that Bigfoot was what was it, Neanderthal? That's what they went into. They evolved into Neanderthal.
Yeah. Doesn't have the distinct brow ridges that the Neanderthals or Cro-Magnon man would have had. It's distinctly human. I mean, the face, there's no question. It looked exactly like a man that was 11 or 12 feet tall with hair everywhere, but over around his eyes and between his parts of his beard. That's about it.
He looked like a man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's definitely a branch of human. There's no question about that.
Well, no, that's what I mean. That Neanderthal, according to our own science, they were bred out by the Cro-Magnon.
Well,
bred them out.
But
they think some of them offshoot. They think some of them offshooted and bred with whatever those giant humans were.
It's
And,
evolved from that point. It's got to be because they don't, like I said, they don't have the distinct brow ridge.
yeah, but that you
They
would
were
read.
talking about that.
I mean, you don't know how.
Pithecus or whatever. That's the new term or whatever. Everybody's saying, oh, that lost one there. There might be a lost tribe of these Gigantopithecus creatures.
Yeah,
that are,
yeah. Some people do think they are that too.
I think it's more than a tribe. It's got to be from to have pervasive stories from ancient times with the Native Americans and even in other parts of the world, Europe and Asia and what have you. But it definitely doesn't phase in and out of space. And there is, if any of you are aware of the Blue Planet Project book or the Russian UFO book, there's a creature in there, and I forget the name of it, but there's a creature in there that is like a Chewbacca. It uses space technology and advanced weaponry. That may have some sort of cloaking device that he can turn and phase in and out of our visible range of sight. Mm-hmm. But that's not what Bigfoot is. He's not. That's a different creature. That's an alien species that looks like Bigfoot. Bigfoot is a human species. It has to be. It didn't look Cro-Magnon. It didn't look Neanderthal. It didn't look like Chewbacca. I mean, Chewbacca's got a distinctly different face. It's got kind of a rounded monkey jaw and face. This thing is, if you were to look at it, you say it's a dude. That's why we thought it was my uncle, but it wasn't him.
You guys
just
remember back in the time there with the TV show, The $6 Million Man, when he fought Bigfoot?
Yep, Richard Kiel was the Bigfoot in that show, yeah.
Do you think that Bigfoot could be, or possibly a part of it could be a government experiment that's why you're seeing so much in the U.S.?
I don't think it's a government experiment, no. Because the Bigfoot in the $6 Million Man series was a robot. It was a mechanical device. And they built it to scare people away from, it was an aliens robot, and the aliens had like this, they were the Krill or the Skrill or something like that. They also crossed over, those same aliens crossed over into the Wonder Woman show of the same era. But that was a robot to scare people away. The Bigfoot, the stories of Bigfoot go centuries back. I mean, the Native Americans had stories with them. There's stories of Native Americans that actually would speak to them. They would have conversations and trade. They would trade pelts to the Bigfoot. The Bigfoot would trade meat and what have you. Because the way I understand it, Bigfoot hunts like deer and stuff like that, and they don't use tools like we do. However they get to them, where they pounce on it from a tree or they corral it into a kill zone, they break its neck and then they pull parts of it off. They don't use a knife or a stick. They'll pull a leg off and eat off of that. And then I guess whatever they don't use, they would trade over to the Native Americans for food so they could get whatever they needed from the Native Americans. And that's 500 years ago, something like that. So it's not a government experiment, not by our things.
I was just playing it on that part there, but I find, because I've been doing watching lots of shows and stuff. Les Stroud was doing this whole thing on different places where he's been looking for Bigfoot to dispel or prove the myth, and it was really interesting. I've actually been watching nonstop over the holidays here, and I like you said, like there's different types of not different types, but there's different stories of Bigfoot in every single continent all the way around and through all the years there. But I'm just wondering why, whether here in North America, if it's just because people are searching for it now because of the internet and TV and stuff like that there's more people out there watching. But also the part, that's why I was just making light of the part the Bigfoot was back in that $6 million movie stuff. But yeah, you understand that the government does do experiments too, right? And you never know that.
And if they've captured some, and did experiments, I can't comment on that. But what I can comment on is why we don't find them. And there's a couple reasons. And
you mean you co-host with one of them?
Huh?
You co-host with one of them.
Well, yeah, but he's a shaved Bigfoot, so that's a little different.
I'm just saying, he does try to fit in with today's society. I mean, really.
Yeah, if you shave him and train him right, they can pass.
I heard his Russian girlfriend said that he was so hairy. Well, I can't say it on the radio, but regardless, he was very hairy. I'm just saying. I can't go into detail.
Well, the reason why we don't find him is they did some. Matt Moneymaker Show did a good experiment with a deer carcass. A recently killed deer, I think it was run over by a car. So they staked the carcass out in an area of, I think, New England in the summertime, and they staked the body to the ground so it wouldn't walk away with carnivores coming by and taking it and what have you, scavengers, and the body would disintegrate within a week. And we're talking about a 500 or 600 pound full size deer. So at the end of the week, nothing was left. There was maybe a few bones left over, That's why we don't find dead Bigfoot. If they don't bury themselves, they disintegrate within a week or two, especially in the summertime. And the reason why we don't see them walking around that often is there are caverns that go from like northern Maine all the way to Florida just about. And the Bigfoot, they actively avoid us. When the one I saw it was angry because I don't know why they don't like us. Probably because we're violent. We try to kill them. But yeah, and they smell worse. I mean, they don't.
They don't think so. They think we smell worse.
They travel.
God, humans stink.
They're going to find you unless you go to these caverns.
Country music. Because I know that Bigfoot don't like country music, so you weren't playing country music during the.
We were just
Canadian Bigfoot.
I hate country music too. I'm with Bigfoot on that one. I don't like.
No.
So, by the way, Jay, Del, Jay,
I'm with
Michael,
Bigfoot
Jay,
on that one.
Michelle, Jay, Joe. Jay hosts with Jeffrey Pritchard on Church of Mavis, by the way, guys. Hello, Laura. And that is the woman that keeps Del locked in the cage, ladies and gentlemen.
She got the whooping stick.
I don't know what we're gonna do, people. Now she got some.
It's cold up there, man. If it's 10 degrees here, it's worse up there. How cold is it in Thunder Bay? I bet it's like 20 below.
It's about minus 20 below. But I noticed though that she bought a bunch of pillows, so I got to be worried about being suffocated in the middle of the night.
It's all y'all. Everybody send a donation to Del, people.
What is the temperature really? What's the temperature up there?
I don't know, about minus what would be in Fahrenheit, about -5.
It's not that right now.
Ooh,
Fahrenheit.
that's crisp, man. Crisp.
Yes,
It's cold. It's cold.
It's cool when you wear
come on. You know, I had a friend that used to live somewhere
Gotta
way
heat
up.
that cage, man. Put one of those heaters in the bottom of it.
We had a regular listener, a good friend of ours. She used to go under the name Perrin Cougar, and she lived way up north in Canada. And these SOBs used to go swimming. So it'd be like 40 below outside. So somebody goes outside and cuts a hole in the ice and jumps in the water. Really?
That's the
I'm
polar
thinking,
bear
what are you
swim.
doing? Get cracked or
insane.
something. I mean,
Yep. It's
that's
the
definitely
same.
the first thing out of my mouth. You got to be on
Because they want to
I mean,
die. They want to
Well,
die.
that's-
They want out.
but you're also-
They're stuck there.
I grew up on the
like,
lake,
take
and
you down.
the ice would just melt off the lake, like beginning of April, and we would be like some of the first ones in the lake, for sure.
What we do is out at
Crazy
camp,
Canucks.
I went diving in cold water one time.
what was that, Del?
cutting a hole in the ice, like that's a big thing that's around here in Thunder Bay. A lot of the Finlanders do that, but we have also, like, out at our camp, we have a big sauna, right? So
Yeah.
like even when there's snow out, you go in the sauna and you're up
Well,
to
I'm all
like
for that.
whatever,
I've
you
been-
just jump in the snowbanks or jump in the lake or jump in the water. It's not a big deal.
That's how I get
a free
pneumonia.
spa day.
Just saying.
Well, the Swiss do that. They'll run through the snow naked, then jump into a sauna, and then
Not running
they'll
through
run
snow
out in the
naked.
snow again and come back.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to see Joe running the snow naked, $29.99 a minute. I'm just telling you, be upfront about it. You know, sign up ahead of time. We get enough signings. We'll discuss a 10-minute run across the snow.
Especially if he gets eaten by a Bigfoot.
Yep.
Add that
No,
in
no,
there.
no. We're not getting eaten by none. Forget that shit. We're gonna. We'll see how fast my old ass can run across the snow. They got a song, Boogie Day, fastest thing of your 2
Who
feet.
can run faster?
Streak. Oh man,
Definitely not us.
it would be interesting. Elizabeth Kravis. Well, that's an interesting name. Where are you from? Hey, what are y'all? England. Everybody. It's like 3:00 in the morning over there. What are y'all doing tonight? No, I'm not
They
criticizing.
got nothing to do. They're stuck inside.
Getting a lot of people in from
They're
England.
quarantined, man.
But that's what I'm saying. We've been getting a lot of people in. What you got for us? No, everybody
Insomnia,
just
they
got
got
us well over 21 if that's what you're asking. Yeah, these shows are R-rated, really. You hear me tease about PG-13 these shows. If you look at any of our ratings, they're adult-only shows. Well, no, we're not really saying that much tonight. That you have to
Adult only.
Most of the shit we talked about tonight, kids would be like, "Mommy, what was he talking about?" Nothing, son. Go over there. go sit down. Wait, what? No, we're not talking about the first transvestite astronaut. No, move on from that. First transvestite. What is this? No, I'm not even.
Thank you, Michael.
Yeah.
I'm not reading this conversation. I'm going to another chat room. I'm not reading what I crap.
You gotta celebrate all types, man.
Michael will be manning that chat room.
Oh wait, now somebody want to know who's your favorite archangel?
Who's your first dark? Ooh,
Who's
the
your
Morning
favorite?
Star, of course.
First,
Of course, you like the evil one. Damn. Oh my God! See, I tell you, she's Elvira Kennedy. I just don't believe
I
you.
know
We just-
Archangel.
we gotta
I'm just
come up with
messing
your name,
around.
Camino.
Archangel.
Oh man! And then I don't know who mine was. No, I'd see Michael, but after watching a TV movie about him dancing and smelling like cookies, I don't know if I can go there. Man. I don't know.
Azrael.
Good.
Azrael. Yeah.
Azrael.
No, mine would have to be Warren Worthington III.
Oh shit!
He's an X-Man. I mean, those metal wings, that's just cool as hell. He can send feathers at you, and they're like they're psionic, so they like turn your brain off. That would be my favorite Archangel right there.
Yeah. See, that's pretty talented.
Yeah.
This is a couple
I like that.
And he's fast as a jet too, so that's another thing. He can get to California in 3 hours.
Yeah.
Irish cream.
That could work.
Oh, yeah,
Sorry,
it's
Joe.
Oh no, it's Irish cream. It's Folgers I'm drinking. It's good. It's Irish cream Folgers.
Oh.
Oh no, there's real liquor in it. No, people, I'm not lying.
Hey Joe, there's a new Irish cream out that's from Bailey's, I think. That's like cherry flavored.
Well, I don't do cherry. I gotta watch cherry.
Cherry.
Cherry
good.
alcohol.
I'm not getting it. Just puts coffee.
Puking
Kids,
that
if
up
you're
by
listening
midnight.
tonight, alcohol is bad for you. Do not drink alcohol. And just because you see mommy and daddy do it does not mean it's a good thing. I just thought I'd throw that out there. For all y'all that think, well, mommy doesn't know it, don't mean nothing. Just look how dumb your mommy is when she's drinking or your daddy is, and stay away from that shit.
Just like
Yes. Oh, I'm only talking about children that are 21 over. We're not talking any children younger than that. Of course, you're a child to me if you're 21 who I'll pop that up real fast. Yeah.
Unless you're in like Thailand, right? Because it's legal there. You know what I mean? You gotta know who you're talking to on the radio, man. People saying 21.
People keep asking
legal
who our
drinking age at,
favorite
like
Christmas
15.
characters are. I don't know what they mean by. I mean, what do you mean Christmas characters? Like the Grinch or Scrooge or Marley or there's all kind of ones. I could go get into some of Hans Christian Andersen's. Well, my mom made me read every one. And some of them books were creepy.
Mine is Jeffrey Epstein because we like to hang him by the fireplace, man.
Yeah, stocking stuffer, huh? Okay.
it's
you
like
don't know who
up on
has
the
pockets
shelf with
and
a whole
candy,
other
yeah.
meaning.
Yes. If you don't know who that is, people don't bother looking at it. You're just wasting valuable time.
Move right along, folks. Nothing
Yeah, I
to see
think
here.
so.
Somebody said Winston Churchill was actually
Macy's is
Saint
down
Nicholas
the
in
block.
disguise.
Down the block to the right.
Churchill was who in disguise?
Saint Nicholas was Churchill in disguise. I was like, well, hey, they were both fat, so I guess they got that in common. I mean, I don't know what else. Michelle and I did a show just recently. We got into Saint Nicholas pretty deep because she had done a bunch of research, and then just by coincidence, that particular day, I was watching some show about Saint Nicholas of all things. It was a good show though. Y'all should check it, but it's only members only. It is available though on YouTube and on Podbean. Go check it out.
Story of Christmas.
It's Irish cream flavored Folgers with real Irish cream in it. Yeah. Actually, I got this bottle of Bailey's that's 12 years old, but it was aged 12 years before I got it. It's actually, I think it's about 36 years old now. And then I got this bottle of bourbon that came in, or actually a bottle of Scotch whiskey that came in the other day. That's yes, I can't talk about that either on the air. It's like when I first started drinking Folgers, people.
So,
Lord, it's good stuff.
So the Irish cream, is it made with real Irish people asking for George Washington, of course?
Yes,
With
there's
real Irishmen?
there's after being.
I don't like that. I don't like that
alcohol,
invitation
like,
stuff myself.
That's why there's little red hairs in it.
I like real bacon and real butter, man.
We do not. We don't. That's bad for you people. Lots of margarine.
It's American history. You can't hate on that. You know what I mean?
No, when I was a
History.
kid, I remember these things. We used to have to do these food pyramids, right? Of what you should be eating. And on that food pyramid, there was always bacon, eggs, and toast and grits. And I mean, it was serious breakfast. And not what you wanted to eat. And then you wondered why you got clogged arteries at 50. That's why you got clogged arteries at 50 because of that shit. And
I know some of the stuff you eat, man. It's no wonder you have clogged arteries.
I only got one. And the doctor still
You
swears.
eat weird ass shit. Just saying.
The doctor still swears that was. He said, "I don't understand how you got a clogged artery at 46, 98% close." He said,
Gotta eat healthy, man.
Well, no, we like to
have
eat
those foods.
and good cream sauces. A cream sauce, if it's done right, anything tastes good. It don't matter what the hell you put
No,
on.
that's not
That's
true.
what George
Yes,
Washington
it is.
said.
Trust me on this.
That's what George Washington
You
said,
like
man.
to- No way.
If it's done right,
No matter how you disguise it, I still wouldn't touch it.
know how to smoke that butter. You know what I mean?
So,
Paul Revere had a good recipe for that, man.
I'm gonna put on this
At least
show.
in New Orleans, you got sauces. New Orleans is
$5
sauces, man. You guys have sauce for everything. It's like France, man. It's like
Yeah, good sauce.
sauces everywhere.
Oh, wow.
Everything's made with butter, man. That's why they have to drink so much
Yeah, it's
wine
all made with
to
butter,
cut down
too.
that fat. Otherwise, they would die.
I wonder if the
Stay away
vaccine.
from pork, though.
Oh my God.
I gotta say though, on a
That
side
long
note,
pork.
on a side note, I gotta say, thumbs up, Mike Pence. He got up there, put his arm up. Give me that shot.
Yeah, but did you see the nurse that passed out while she was interviewing after she had the shot? It was in
Oh, I did
chat.
see a couple people, and I hear the Canadian Emperor will be getting the shot this week.
Good.
Yeah. How do you
I-
want to make a bet it'll be a dud?
Well, I was thinking
There's
that when
been lots
Joe
of video
Biden gave
where
one, I was
the
thinking the same thing.
syringe
They
has
might
been
be getting
empty. I
the
talked about this before. There were doctors that came out in Europe that were speaking about that they're going to make it look like we're taking the shot because to give you guys confidence, but we're not. It's empty or it's got saline in it.
I want you to.
It's because of that oak. It's that leaf on the flag, man. It throws people off. It makes it like a bunch of kids found that. Like, hey, there's our flag, dude. So people think like, hey, Canada does it. It's cool, you know. Like, because everything is just
we're in
like,
together
okay.
mode. Look at this. Woo. This looks so
Okay, eh?
I
And then all of a
know.
sudden, here come the zombies, man. Canadian
look that up on
zombies.
YouTube,
That's all we need.
I don't know
And
if
there
you
goes,
heard
hey,
about
Joe,
this
there
in
goes half the
Australia.
UPRN, man, out the window.
I'm gonna get Jay
We
by the
lose
hand.
half
Hold
the
on a
staff.
minute. Wave his hand.
half
Oh,
the people
no,
are
man.
gone.
Thank-
I love you,
You know,
Canadian guys.
See the show? We're in together mode. Man, you need to be in camp, dude. You're missing out on together mode.
I'm
We're in
almost
together
there.
mode. Yeah, well, yeah,
I'm
man.
just a couple
stick
hours
the
away,
girls
man.
in the back, sure.
Hey, I didn't do that. I didn't do that. No,
I'm just a few
no.
hours away.
Oh, man.
I got my own
That's
wampum
done.
stick, though.
We are so
Yeah, we're in the
far
front
away
row.
from you. Maybe you're close to Michelle, but you're not close to us. I'll tell you right now.
Oh, man.
No, you're really close to me, Michael.
Uh-oh, Michael.
Yeah, this is a few hours away.
Michelle
just in
is
Niagara.
about
Be
20
right there.
hours away by car,
I
depending on
wonder if there's
traffic.
another background
from
for that.
us.
I have to check this out.
Uh-huh.
Well, Mike, I'm playing with this thing. It's called Together Mode on Skype. It's got us all sitting, I don't know, we're sitting on a mountain, a rock. Oh, wait, is this like an amphitheater somewhere made out of stone or
I
something?
thought
What the
you
hell
made
is
it a
this?
haunted house or big. What could be?
Hey, I don't know what this is. This just popped up on a screen the other day, so I decided I'd try it again. I don't even know if you can change the whatever the background is. I have to look and see.
I'm sure you can.
Hey, I'm all chilling. Yeah, man, what's happening? You
You
fucking
look like we're on.
bobblehead.
We just need 3 more people. What's that? What was that?
Hey,
old
wait,
game
that's
show?
right. Who gets this row down here? Somebody special we don't know
You
about?
guys remember that game show? It had 9 people, and you
Oh,
got
yeah.
Oh, Hollywood
Yeah.
Squares.
yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
I see they got that mode. Though. Where's it at? Hold on. It's yes, people. We're playing with the stupid mode while we're live. Wait, large.
Did anyone hear about the Australian COVID vaccines that it was giving out false HIV results,
Yep.
and they made a. I don't know if they didn't ban the shots, but they banned that particular, I guess, brand.
Yeah, I
You know
like what I
why?
have.
Because if
Yeah.
you look
No, I didn't
at
hear
the
about that.
vaccine, they're using a strain from the HIV virus. It's supposed to be benign, and a cancer strain too. But that's in a lot of. It's supposed to be benign, but they've been using it since the 60s.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And
it's like
that's the
a-
reason why I don't ever get the flu shot, because I don't know what the hell they put in it.
We don't get it either.
Yeah.
I know everybody keeps saying you're going to take the shot. So I'm all going to wait and see what happens to the first round.
Well, okay, think about
See
this.
how
This
many
is
people left
experimental. If you're giving it to all the doctors and nurses, if something goes wrong, what happens to your healthcare team? So to me, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I know.
And,
Common
well,
sense would say.
You can't count on the government or the politicians there to be thinking very clearly and brightly. Because that makes no sense at all. Okay, give it to the frontline workers first, and then if there's that's such a retarded thing to do. That's why we got those people in office, anyways.
A lot of people have been turning it down, though. A lot of the frontline workers are saying, "Yeah, we're good."
Yeah, 85,000 nurses in the Netherlands all turned it down. Said absolutely not.
Well, a bunch of nurses in New York. There's a bunch of people turning it down all over the place. Yes, I agree, Jennifer. Jennifer says, "I am the Oreo. I am the stuffing in the Oreo cookie." and Michelle and Laura Lee are the cookie.
The cookie, not fudge.
No, I'm just saying. I guess it's because the three of us are on the bottom of the screen.
I was like, what kind of stuffing?
Because I'm actually Gridview.
I guess that's
Gridview.
Better than another butter.
I'm looking on his computer. I see everything in Gridview. I'm looking at his computer.
I'll take Oreo.
It's a big Oreo.
Oreos are good.
Oreo. Jennifer, you're sick.
Okay, so I got a question for you guys. We were talking about this Tuesday night in our show, and people in the chat were saying this. Has anybody noticed an increase in paranormal activity lately? Because we're noticing it, and people in the chat were. Seraphine was noticing it. So I thought I'd ask anybody.
I'm always busy. You know,
yes, you are.
Yeah, I'm still busy. It's like an influx. Oh, I still get lots of messages. I get a ridiculous amount of messages in a day. So is it an influx? Oh, I don't know. You know,
I mean, like in your house, because we're even getting activity here again.
Oh, in the house. Oh, yes. Lots of it. Yeah,
that's what we're talking about.
I've got to say this.
Stuff that was pot.
I've got to say this.
What was that, Michael?
I'll say this: the demons that were hanging out here, man, and following me around, had to leave, and they're claiming PTSD now. You know that. So I couldn't even keep them around.
Michael, your harem doesn't count.
Talk about rejected.
Michael, your harem doesn't count.
Rejected for Christmas, I say.
And the only uptick I've noticed is in the UFO community is that the Navy has released all those UFO videos from like 2007. But they're old stories, but they've been releasing a lot of them, and it's like I'd rather see new stuff, but at least they're releasing and they're acknowledging the fact that they have
that one
this craft they can't stop.
They didn't release. Like they've got that one that was a leak of that pyramid shaped craft with the lights on the edges, you know, and that's recent.
Yeah,
so that's pretty interesting.
I haven't gone through all their stuff, but they had a whole whack of a new release, a bunch of stuff, about 200 plus files. Is that what you're talking about, Jeffrey?
I'm Jay. But yeah, no. It's what's his name?
Sorry, Jay. You are Jay. I apologize.
You can call him Jesse.
It's the background.
You can call him Jay.
Yeah,
you can call him Ray.
The Tic Tac one that they came out in the last year and a half, and that Lou Elizondo show. They did the whole series on that. And they're on their second season. They're still talking about the same incident, and they're on a second season of it. But yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, it's a Tic Tac shaped thing that they followed for like 4 or 5 hours up and down the California coast in 2007.
Yeah. Nice. That was an improvement, Joe. What's his name again? I forget what his name is. Your critter that you had.
Oh no, you leave my little baby alone. Don't upset him. He'll get upset. I don't know why I'm seeing us in two different frames. This is weird because I'm watching on. I'm in the chat group.
YouTube, it's the regular one.
So on here, I'm watching. I see us in the 5 grid.
But not on
But over
YouTube.
here, I see us in the.
We all look like we're sitting our heads on rocks.
You see, that's how you see it, but I don't see it like that. I see us in the 5 grid mode. That's really weird. Here, let me show you. I'll show you how I see y'all look. Ooh, zooming back. There you are.
Yep. See that one, and then in the.
That's why I was saying about the Oreos. So somebody else sees us like that too.
Okay.
And
That's weird.
so I don't know what that is. So people, I don't know which way you're watching us at the moment.
I know. I'm looking at YouTube, and it's just a regular grid.
Oh,
Can you
sorry.
see?
Let me put us on grid view and see what that does.
Or just
now
regular.
Dell's the Oreo stuffing.
Yeah.
Jay, are you hearing about more UFOs? Period. Then.
Well, that particular thing is what the Navy released. Like I said, they're old stories, but they came out in the last year and a half. But nothing new. These are new-ish because they just released the top secret footage and what have you. So it makes them new, but they're not recent events. So I'm not finding. No, I don't think there's an uptick in recent activity. But I have a feeling that there's going to be a huge uptick in it, and I don't know what the catalyst for that is, but I know that the U.S. government. I watched about 50 or 60 videos over the last few weeks because I'm on temporary leave from work from an injury. So I watched a whole bunch of UFO videos, and almost all of them, the newest ones that I saw, almost all of them say that the U.S. government is preparing the U.S. for a false flag alien invasion scenario where they're going to put holograms up and use some of the ARVs. ARVs, for the listeners who don't know, is an alien reproduction vehicle. So it looks like an alien vehicle, but it's operated by U.S. forces. And they're going to use the real ARVs with some of the holograms to attack actual cities in America. And
I heard about that.
We're start seeing that in the next few months, maybe like up to 3 years from now would be the actual invasion, something to that effect. I think they're looking for 2025 as the actual event. So yeah, I think there's going to be.
Unfortunately, they're going to end up invading Colorado, and everybody's going to get high, and then the aliens will have forgotten why they're invading us to begin with, and they take some cookies and leave. But there will be the great cookie shortage of 2021.
Joe, I was going to tell you, have you heard what your friend Alfred Lamont Weber is doing up here in Canada?
Yeah, he's trying to recruit me to come up there and be his webcast guy.
No, I'm going to read it to you. I got the message, not from him, but someone that's working with him. It's she was talking about a tribunal. And then I'm going, what are you talking about? She said, it's a natural and common law international tribunal. We've been working on it for months, taking legal action against the lockdown, vaccinations, and 5G. We created an indictment, which we have 30 plus judges who voted on it, and it got sent off to the defendants. She said, then we held an evidence trial and we voted. And she says, we also sentenced many to jail time. We are sending out enforcement in the new year. And she said, Alfred Lamont, the way she spelled it, Labramont Weber, is the organizer.
Yeah, no, Alfred does the tribunals every so often. They get a group of people together and they bring up everybody's crimes, and they go, I'm actually surprised nobody's actually assassinated his ass yet for doing it. He does, and it brings a lot of attention. It doesn't get anybody put in real jail, but it gets a lot of attention. Sometimes the media pays some attention to it, and sometimes the media writes it off as a bunch of crazies. But he's been doing it long, because he's got a little legitimacy because he worked for Jimmy Carter and for the president. He's a Jesuit, we one of the reasons we know each other is because of that. And don't even ask whoever said that.
Working with Carter gives you the legitimacy. When?
In the academic world, it does. Unfortunately, it does in the academic world, and I don't know why. Because he's a Democrat and they're both liberals. I don't know, but
maybe
whatever it may have been, that's one of the ways that it goes down. Can I change this mode? I can't stand seeing it.
Crazy, dude.
Good view.
Dell's disappeared.
It's completely gone.
He's back in the cage.
I apologize. You know what? I can't see you. Like this
cozy,
little tiny little
cozy
thing
in that cage.
He's having
the tree,
alien baby.
Pretty lights on the tree. In the cage, got his little squeak toy.
See, Michael's currently laid on the alien table, and they're inserting the baby, and he's just talking along. He just doesn't know what's going on. Poor Dell, they had to take him because he's still in shock from being in a cage.
Yeah, his man cave, not cage.
No man cage. We know what's going on there. The truth is out, Lord. It is out. It's all over the internet. First thing Mike talked about, we all weren't here, so you didn't hear. The first thing Mike was talking about.
Yeah, he's so hard done by. He's sleeping. I'm the one walking in the door from getting groceries, Christmas shopping, and I hear Skype going off. I'm going, what? Dell, wake up. Wake up. I think Joe's calling you.
Did you never watch the Flintstones or the Jetsons? That's what's supposed to happen. See, that's what Minnesota screwed us.
He was sleeping.
A friend of mine said, I don't understand how I'm gonna break 40 years of program being told this is how it's supposed to be. And I'm like, what are you talking about? He starts going off about all these cartoons we watched as a kid. I'm like, yeah, I guess that's true. I've never really thought of it like that before, but it is true. All of those, Betty and Wilma at home doing their thing. And
did you get one?
Yep.
Yeah, I brought donuts home.
if it's not Krispy Kreme, it's not a real donut.
See how mean I am to my donuts home. That's so he can eat that in his cage.
So, I heard her confess that she lies because he throws his ass a donut. I guess it's sure to keep him going for a little.
I'm upstairs.
Do you make him like recycle his pee or something? I mean, oh my God. People, send help these guys. We need to get this organization strong in Canada. We got to help these guys.
Just so people
Michelle
know,
keeps
it's a joke, and I'm sure Michelle's never hit anybody either. I know I haven't. I've never hit a soul.
That's okay. Michelle got hers locked down. I don't even want to talk about what Amelia's got hers doing. My sister, oh my God.
I never hit a Polish person either.
I'll say one
French
thing, though,
people all
is
the
that,
time.
hot chocolate with water sucks. Better with milk.
I seen Dave Scott's woman walking, just start whacking him in the head in the middle of a show.
I didn't buy milk. I'm sorry. I looked at it and I thought, we won't need milk.
See, look, then she don't even feed the man. Oh my God. The abuse is running deep.
It goes with the Oreos.
I know, it's sad.
Gotta have Oreos and milk.
I made a hot chocolate bar. I haven't finished it all up yet, but it's a hot cocoa bar.
Oh, that goes back. Now we got to go back to this question from earlier. I'm glad you said it, Lorelei. So everybody's been asking, what is your favorite holiday drink? Both a non-alcohol and an alcohol drink. I said what mine was.
So complicated.
Non-alcohol. I'm thinking just stands all good hot
chocolate, probably with something chocolate mint or chocolate. But if I can't, eggnog. And I don't like rum, but I'll drink it in eggnog. And then favorite non-alcohol.
Eggnog lately.
Probably hot chocolate, but I don't drink those things very often.
With about 5 pounds of whipped cream jetted inside of it.
I told you I have a hot cocoa bar. It's got chocolate. I'm going to make those chocolate bombs that you put in hot chocolate. They've got the marshmallows in it. They've got everything, and you put it in the hot milk, and it turns it into hot chocolate.
So right now when I make hot chocolate, I just take a chunk of that fudge and just drop it in there. And just let it dissolve in the chocolate. Well, today I was drinking one of these orange drinks, and we got candy canes. We got Starburst and Lifesaver candy canes in the tree. So I walk by today, snap open one of the lemon ones, shake it into my drink, shake up my drink. So I got an orange drink with a lemon candy
That's
cane.
what's at my cocoa bar.
Good.
I have peppermint sticks. I have cinnamon sticks. I've got chocolate chips. And like I said, to make it fancy, it's not fudge. I'm going to Martha Stewart them. They look like truffles, and you throw them into hot milk and you stir them, and you got hot chocolate and your marshmallows and everything in it.
My wife's fixing to have a chocolate heart attack because the girls brought over Godiva, the other day, big box of it, so she's eating that. And I'm like, well, stay away from the fudge. She's like, ooh, yeah, fudge, Godiva. I'm like, yeah, okay. Maybe comatose. This is over with. And meanwhile, people, I'm telling you, I got Chihuahua, I'll give it to y'all cheap. She's, she's a handful right now. She literally jumps on my chest and just throws her ass against my face. And like, Daddy, she's in heat big time. Boy, the poor baby. The last 2 nights has just been.
It must be the season. Ours just finished, but she wasn't real crazy.
No, this time she's a month early this time too. She's like, sorry, people, this is just crazy stuff. But the dog is insane, man. Thank God my other one's gonna be 18 because he wants to, but he's like, no, I'll die. And he's like, I want to, and no, I'm gonna die. he's thinking about it. He's like, no, I'm gonna die. He's thinking, well, do I want to go out with a smile on my face? Thinking, no, you don't. You want to hang out for another year if you can make it that long. That's one of them things. But
that's long for a dog. 18. I know little ones live longer, but
Chihuahuas now, if you actually, when you take care of them all the time, if you send them to bed, Chihuahua can live up to 24, 25 years now. Thanks to
standard size ones, not the little ones.
Yeah, little ones like our other one. He made it 14, which was long for one his size. When they get 4 pounds and under, they can live to be older, but usually they have other health issues that kills them. In his case, it was just liver went, but I mean, it's just it's just a little, and they're not really designed for that. They're great little dogs. My wife was showing me a picture of this one today when he was like 2 underneath the covers trying to eat anything that moved. I'm like, dog, it's 2.5 pounds. What are you actually going to eat?
Those little dogs are alien alien
Well,
it's
it's funny.
They go and they're reporting back to the alien hive to see what you guys are doing.
No, but it's funny you said that because Chihuahuas aren't supposed to be related to the common dog.
I would believe that.
They say that the dog is a different breed. And it's something that came out of South America, and they knew it. They knew it was some kind of rat, or they think it was some kind of rat.
It's a little chupacabra, yeah.
But even then, even back when the Toltecs had them, they were under 3 and 4 pounds. Yeah. I mean, so somebody either bred them down or they were naturally that size. But when the Toltecs, and that's who they started with as hand warmers, but they made it through the Aztecs, the Incans, the Mayans. They were just, it's just like the cat in Egypt. It was just a worship dog here.
They did a DNA thing there that the Chihuahuas are more related to a wolf than most other dogs are.
Yeah, it's a little different. Yeah, and actually they think it came from something. And actually they think it came from a different kind of wolf. It was like when they made it, they show a picture of it. It's like a wolf that looks like a fox, but the wolf size was kind of strange. But they're just tiny now. I mean, you can get them. Now, Charlie, before he got old, he stayed around 15, 16 pounds. We called him the Hawaiian Chihuahua.
That's big.
Well, no, well, I actually had rode to Westminster. I wanted to see about starting a new breed of giant Chihuahuas because he had all the markings perfect ears, perfect snout, but his legs were, 10 inches long. His legs were too long. I mean, because usually they want you 6 to 9 inches to show a Chihuahua, and he was already way 14. He was a little bit smaller than a Jack Russell. And I always thought he might have been a Jack Cheetah for a while, but his ears were so perfect it was hard to think that he had any terrier in him. And he was a demon. But this dog, he was 4 months old. Friend come walking the door, didn't see him. Drop kicked the dog clean across the house.
Oh.
And then he ran into a fence. Then he ran out into the street like he got hit by a bike. Then we moved to a new house. He gets out, runs out, he got so lucky and not lucky. He seen the guys working on a thing. He was going to go eat these guys, and he took off after them, which he knew better, but he still did it. And there was an SUV coming by, and the SUV just got by far enough that he didn't get in front of it. He hit it on the side. He ran into it, and it bounced his ass off.
That dog's got 9 lives.
Oh yeah, he does, and he's done.
So they're more related to a cat.
Yeah.
They think they cats. Well, wait, let me tell you. They think these all my Chihuahuas climb. They'll get up on your shoulders. The little one, my wife Max, when he got in the car, he'd get up behind the shoulders and right where he rode. He'd be riding. It was funny because you'd see somebody look over sometimes. They'd be like, "What?" You'd see this little black and white face staring at you about this big. Like, what the hell is that? Is that some kind of coat? What is that? And then, of course,
I don't know how mine knows. The shepherd,
motorcycles. He hated kids. He hated kids. I mean, literally, he hated kids. He would bite a kid soon. Look at a kid. He did not.
Wow.
I tell people, because kids would see him. He's like, "No, don't touch him. He will bite the living crap out of you with them razor sharp teeth." Because so literally had them needle teeth. He didn't have real teeth. Yeah.
Well, my shepherd, I don't know how she knows, Joe, but every time at the end of my show, Monday night, right? You even asked me one night, "Where the heck's that beast of yours?" She comes right up on top of me like a lapdog.
You know,
shepherd. Mm-hmm.
Mine know when I'm supposed to be home. They start looking and barking at everything that goes by after about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Okay, Daddy's supposed to be home. No, people were talking about it because we've actually dressed ours up in Santa Claus stuff and sweaters and hats. And
that's why our dogs hate us. Mine can get out of their clothes easily.
They know our schedule. Yeah. They have their clocks. When I come home, I haven't been at work for the last few months, but when I get off at work, I'm usually home between 11:30, 12 o'clock. There's 1 or 2 of my cats waiting for me at the top of the stairs. Yeah. And they're like, "Hey, where you been?" I'm like, "Hey, I'm here. What do you want?" And they don't want anything. They just want to know.
My I'm not kidding. I was watching this show. It came up on my YouTube feed. He lives in Japan, him and his Caucasian girlfriend. I mention it because they're in Japan, but he speaks English quite well, but he speaks Japanese to the cat. He cooks. He's a chef. Seats at the table. He has the cats watch. They don't touch anything. And then he's taught them how to shake a paw, do all kinds of tricks, ride in his basket and his bike. And it's pretty easy to teach a cat how to. Mine know now when the beast eats, you just say to them, they stand and they start to meow, and you say, "What do you need to do? Sit up pretty." So they know.
Aww.
What kind of dogs do you have, Michelle?
2 now. I lost my little baby in the summer.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Thank you. But I've had many. I've had lots of dogs over the years. We're down to 2 now. And One is like 3 pounds of I'm the boss, and the other one is 4 pounds of probably feeling pretty much the same.
They're
So,
little peanuts.
they're little ones. Yeah, they are. Look, my
Oh.
computer's trying to do an update. I don't think so. Remind me.
I've got a really,
they look
really funny-
heathen.
I've got a really, really funny rabbit story if y'all are interested in it, and it goes to what I said about training animals.
Yeah.
This was probably, oh God, 96, 93, 1993. I was in college, and my roommate and I, we decided to have a Super Bowl party.
Yeah.
So we invited about 20 of our friends over, and I had a cat. My cat was a 20-pound Maine Coon. And
Oh, they're big. They're nice cats.
Beautiful.
So he was running around in this party with my friends. And my friends, I called it, I named the cat Blackmore after a Dungeons and Dragons dungeon module. And my friends added the names Slack Ass, Always, and Underfoot, because she was always picking people up. So anyway, everybody we had invited is at the party, and the game has already started. I think we're in the middle of the first quarter, and the doorbell rings. And I'm like, who else are we expecting? So I go answer the door, and there's this guy there. I don't know him at all. I don't know who invited him to the party. He's like, hey, I'm here for so-and-so. They told me there was a party here. I'm like, oh, yeah, come on in. He's like, oh, well, I brought a friend. Can I bring in my rabbit? And I'm like, okay. Let me get my cat first and put her away. Otherwise, she's gonna have her own meal. So I collect my cat and lock her in my bedroom. Come back down, let the guy in. He's got a literal, like a big, fat, brown rabbit, right? So lo and behold, about halftime starts, and we all wanted to watch the halftime show. We watch the stats, look at the funny commercials, and what have you. This guy stands up and takes over the party. Says, "Hey, I got this trick I got to show you guys." He turns the TV off, and we're all like, "Dude, that's not your television." He grabs my roommate's football. Mm-hmm. In a second, something just popped up. He grabs my roommate's football without even asking. He puts it on the floor in front of the television. He puts the rabbit down about 3 feet from the football. And he says some command word to it. The rabbit hops on the football and starts making love to it. There's 3 people looking at this rabbit having sex with a football. I look up at this dude and I'm like, dude, A, why did you teach your animal this? How much time do you have on your hands? And can you please make it stop? I've never, ever seen that in my life, ever.
I cannot unsee what I've seen.
Yeah, you couldn't take a red hot poker hot enough to burn the images out of your brain. I mean, and everybody was not amused. We were like, dude, get that rabbit out of the way. Put the TV back on.
That's
Go sit down. Have a lick drink.
See, I'll reach over, grab the rabbit by the scuff and say, "Ooh, this looks like lunch to me. Let's go."
I should have let the cat out. Yeah.
Yeah, you would. No.
Yeah, rabbit's good eating, man. I mean, they're good, especially good fricasseed stuffed up. Oh my God.
You would.
Rabbit's good eating. I can't help it. It's good
Whatever you so would, you eat it. Anyway, I don't want to talk about it.
I don't eat squirrels because it's like eating a rat and they're so tiny it's a waste of time.
They're really decent too, from what I hear.
Yeah, besides, they use them little fine pellets when they shoot them. They always get in your teeth and shit. It's See, this is different. The nuke world's coming and the zombie apocalypse coming.
So I haven't put them on yet. This is Emmy's new shirt, Squad Goals for Christmas.
Aw.
Well, I don't have any little dogs anymore. I used to, but I don't anymore.
I thought I was going to have any little dogs. I always raised big dogs. I mean, really big dogs. Mm-hmm. I used to train them when I was young. And I don't know what it was. My middle stepdaughter one day just says, "Oh, baby, look what I got." Boom. I got a little blonde chihuahua. I'm like, what? It's cute as hell. It's little, but still, it's a chihuahua. I'm like,
once you've had one chihuahua, you're addicted.
Look. So it's like, so
That's
I said,
true.
okay. I said, you can get the stupid dog, put it on the couch. I don't want it in the bed. Okay. Put the dog on the couch. 2 o'clock in the morning. Nonstop. I said, I'm going to get up and I'm going to choke this dog to death. Is what's going to happen to you. I'm like, this dog is not going to make it. This went on for weeks. So I was like, okay, I'm going to kill the dog. Finally, I just gave in. He gets in the bed. That's it. Then after we got him in the bed, he's sleeping in the bed for about 2 months. He starts to snore. I'm thinking, oh my God, he's dead. I'm going to kill a dog. Then I had to prop his little head up when he go to sleep. I'm like, this is ridiculous. That's like a damn kid.
And then they take over the whole bed.
Oh yeah, they do, because it was funny. We had a king size California king. If you made a California king, it is a huge ass bed.
Yeah, it's like
I mean, literally, there was
96.
only like a foot and a half on each side of my it was crazy how big this bed was. Lynn and I wake in the morning being completely opposite sides on the edge of the bed.
Yeah.
Now we got a big queen right now, but still nope, still the same thing. We both sleep on the edge of the bed. I'm thinking, really? And I wake up my dog and my little female now. She just comes and gets underneath my arm, goes to sleep. She's like,
Aw.
That's cute.
Our
Well,
dog
she's
is
asleep
in our
there.
bed. She has her own pillows. She has her own bed. She has pillows everywhere, like big, because she's big. She's huge. So she has
Ow.
big pillows everywhere.
I had a big German Shepherd when I was dating, and I'd bring home a girl. We'd be doing a nasty or whatever, and we'd fall asleep. All of a sudden, the dog would get in the bed, put his back against mine, and push her ass out of the bed. I am not shitting you. Every time. I was like,
Never
look,
had to think about getting rid of your one night stand, right?
I was like, dog, you're gonna have to go here. This is getting embarrassing, and it was insane. Gator was a big dog. It was like, God.
My buddy's uncle there had 2 big Great Danes, and he had an 8-foot fence in the back there, and there was the alleyway, and the dogs used to go sit with their arms on top of the fence, like it just they're looking with their head over top of it. And I remember being in the house, and those dogs have the right of way. They're like a freight train. If you're walking down the hallway and they get going, they're going their direction, and you have to get out of the way.
Yeah, because you could get knocked on your ass if you don't.
They're like a small horse.
See, that's the other my little black one.
They're actually people that let their kids ride Great Danes. They're that big of an animal.
That's my and see my little 4-pound one. My stepson and my son almost killed him because at the house we had in New Orleans, the neighbors had 3 dogs and we had 2 dogs. Well, Max would go out there and start fence fighting 6 o'clock in the morning. Next thing you know, they up and down the fences all around. I'm like, our house was Linda and I had a place in the front. They had converted the garage into an apartment, so we kept that in the house and let everybody else have the back house, so we could be separate, not have to hear everybody in the house. So we didn't hear the dogs barking. We slept through it. Must just jump and kill that dog. I'm telling you, man. What are you talking about? Oh, somebody gets up and lets some dogs out in the morning. I said, yeah, they're gonna go pee and stuff. He's like, oh no. He said, you got to come in my room and see. So I go back there and I get just nonstop, 5 dogs just nonstop for hours at a time. I said, yeah, I can. So I had to put up a fence, and they ate their way through the fence. They wanted to fence fight. They had a ball, but all the 5 dogs had a ball. They'd get out there and run all day long. He'd come in and sleep for a couple hours, go right back to fence fighting again, or eating my tomatoes, which was kind of weird.
Yeah.
I know. I never seen a dog eat tomatoes before. That was a little strange. Strawberries, orange. I've been seeing them eat watermelons. Tomatoes, not so much. What's that? So Martha, what you got for us, sexy baby? Yeah, I see y'all's thing. What? Hot chocolate, eggnog, and brandy warmed. Maybe. I mean, what kind of brandy? Oh no, I got a really nice brandy sister. Yeah.
I like Courvoisier. That's nice brown. That's nice brown or warmed up.
Jägermeister. Yeah, if it's really, really, really cold like tonight, I could drink some Jaeger. It's about 30 degrees outside, so I could drink some Jaeger. I like the honey Jaeger better. I like the honey Jaeger better than the licorice Jaeger. It's just a personal thing.
I find Jägermeister changes people. One of my roommates in college, we went out drinking, and this was like right after Jägermeister hit the States in the 90s, and he started buying people shots. And normally during the day sober, my roommate was kind of a douchebag. A lot of people didn't like him, which is fine, but he was an abrasive personality when he was sober. And I was always nice. People always liked me. People didn't necessarily care for him. So we started drinking this Jägermeister, I don't know, 6 or 7 o'clock in the evening, and we went from bar to bar. He was buying shots for everybody. I don't remember why he was buying shots, but he was buying shots for everybody. After about 6 or 7 of those, I started being the douchebag, and he started being the nice guy. For what first happened, was it the Jägermeister, or is it just I couldn't figure it out? Maybe he's channeling me out.
Jaeger used to make all the girls I know.
Okay.
Well, the joke with me
Best
was.
thing-
Oh, go ahead,
Best thing
Joe.
to get is you go ice fishing, and you put a bottle of Southern Comfort in your ice fishing tackle box. That keeps you nice and warm all through the day.
Southern Comfort's good stuff, man.
Well, the
I don't
joke
think so.
with me.
I'm from the South. I'm in the first state in the South, Maryland, and we call Southern Comfort Southern Discomfort. I've tried it all kinds of ways. It
You
is
got
a
to drink
bad
Southern
hangover.
Screws because people don't know how to mix Southern Comfort. Southern Comfort, you don't mix Southern Comfort with Coke. It just makes you puke. You mix it with orange juice.
We mix it with orange juice. It tastes fine.
Yeah, and that's why they call it a Southern screw, because it's a Southern screw. It's not a screwdriver. It's a Southern screw. And they're good. You can drink them all night long. They don't get you too ripped. And you can drink it with the 101 Southern Comfort instead of the 89. Guys, look, don't even go with liquor. I was an alcoholic when I was young. Yeah, I still have records.
When I was single was don't give Laura Crown Royal because she becomes between God and a rock star. Yeah, and that did change my personality. I had nothing. I wasn't afraid of anything. I would have done anything.
I like Grey Goose. I like Crown. I like bourbon.
That's why they call most liquors and alcohols liquid courage, because you'll do things you don't ever want to do.
That's true. That was
for me. It's different. Well. Each alcohol has a different effect on me.
Mm-hmm.
Vodka. If I'm drinking White Russians, I'm not kidding you. White Russians make me giddy like a Catholic schoolgirl for the first time. I'm not kidding you. I mean, I get all goofy and stupid. My wife laughs.
Sugar in the milk.
Yeah, it does. It just makes me goofy, and I can drink a lot of them. Jack Daniels makes me the meanest you've ever met. I mean, literally, I've gotten fights because somebody bumped into me in a bar, and I mean, accidentally. I dropped them, but they stood. Matter of fact, when I got out of the Navy, there's a couple times I was drinking back. I used to drink Jack Daniels with a shot of Jack on the side, and a Jack and Coke with a shot. And man, I loved it, but it just. And all my friends are like, Joe, you're like a demon. You just never know when you're gonna go up and just go crazy. They could never give me the quit, but when I met my wife, she actually talked me into giving it up. She's like, Joe, you're a complete. She said you were gonna deck the cop. She's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? She said, just don't drink this shit. So then I was drinking. I drank like tequila sunrises for a while, but they were just too sweet. And all my friends who drank mezcal always ended up spending days apologizing to people. They'd eat the worm, and it's like I said, "What? You ate the worm? You just became stupid." And they're like, apparently so.
I ate the mezcal worm one time. I went down to the Capitol Center, not the Capitol Center, Kennedy Center, years ago in the 80s to go watch Tangerine Dream play at the Kennedy Center. And on the way down, I stopped in Potomac. I got 3 bottles of mezcal, 50 mils, little airplane bottles. I got 3 bottles of those, 3 bottles of rum, a 6-pack of Coke. And I drove my MGB down MacArthur Boulevard into D.C. and I drank one mezcal. And 2 mezcals and 1 rum on the way down. That's a half an hour, 45-minute drive. So I drank 3 Cokes and 50 mils of liquor in that drive going to the Kennedy Center. And this was right after I think the army base in Iran had been car bombed. So, and there was no security at the Kennedy Center, which was weird. I walked right in with my backpack, and I had a bottle of mezcal and 2 bottles of rum left, or 2 bottles. I can't remember what I had 3 liquors and 3 Cokes left. And I ate one of the mezcal worms. And after Stuart Copeland got off stage, it opened. He's from the Police. Tangerine Dream came on, and the mezcal worm made me hallucinate. I started tripping my balls off right there watching. I saw the sound coming out of the speakers in color, like on the back.
I heard it all kind of hard. I mean, the worms they had those
notes coming out of the speakers.
yeah. On a couple of occasions, I've eaten a worm, but I've had a lot of people. It's really messed with. I don't know, but I got some ungodly weird tolerance for alcohol. It makes my friends crazy.
Yeah,
they hate to go drinking with me because usually by the first 2 hours they're so drunk they can't even find their ass. I'm like, come on, guys, where are we going? I don't know, man. We're at the car. I'm leaving you. I'm out of here. Y'all on your own, man. Get the hell out of this place. Oh man, it's weird. But I've probably got, I don't know, 6, 7, maybe 8 records in New Orleans now for amount of drinks, especially sweet ones, man. The Brick Oven used to make these horrible sweet drinks, and they would be layered. Oh, God. Well, hey, you can give me free booze for a year. As much as I want shit, yeah, you'll see. I'll give it a shot. First night, the first time it was 26 up. And I still remember he bought me the last one. It was a flaming fag. He lights it on fire. It's like, here, you're going to puke for sure after this one. So I go, man, why are you going back there? Bring me a hamburger. He looked at me like, you're not human. You're an alien or something. Then I said, you know what? Just to make it fair for the next time I come in here in a year from now, I'm going to drink 4 more. So it's going to be 30 even when I leave. And he's like, really? I'm like, yeah. So I said, now you know what? I'm coming back in a year. I'm going to drink all year, and then I'm going to come back for the next time. He's like, no way, you can't. I don't. I forgot what it was.
I think you got an alien implant that gets rid of it. It bypasses your liver.
It is. It's some weird metabolism. I asked my doctor about it one time. He's like, because it's the same with drugs. My body metabolizes them really fast. And he's like, no. He said, for some reason, your body metabolizes. He said, it's like it separates and moves it and burns out half of it before it even affects you. He says, really weird. And I was like, yeah, it's like sleep, you know. He's like, he said, Joe, 6 hours is plenty for you. He said, some people got to have 8-10 hours. He said, you don't. He said, your brain don't work that way. And I was like, oh. I said, does that mean I'm going to burn out early? He said, no, I don't think so. He said, just the way your brain works. He said, you just can't sit still for more than 6 hours is what the problem is. Take some drugs.
This is right now. This is like an AA meeting.
Right after
You're right, Michael.
Went from Christmas to AA.
Drink.
Do y'all remember the movie Revenge of the Nerds?
Yep.
My buddies and I, we were like you, Joe. I mean, people could not. I was a nerd in high school. People couldn't believe how much alcohol I could drink. Well, I'm Irish, so that's part of it. But right after that movie came out, there's that one scene where they give the Japanese guy a pill called trichloromethylene, which counteracts all alcohol in your blood. My buddies and I, we actually went through DC pharmacies looking for this drug so we could take this before we went to a party and like drink entire kegs by ourselves. But we could never find it. It was a fictional drug. But what a cool thing to have if it was for real.
I know.
Most Asian people are allergic to alcohol.
As soon as they live,
one of my buddies he's from Vietnam. He was in the 70s when the boat people came over to Hawaii and then into America. He was on one of those boats in 75. He cannot drink at all. You give him one bottle of Heineken and he's on the ground. But he's one of the nicest guys ever on the planet, whether he's drunk or drunk. So.
Well, my ex-husband's half Japanese, and he never ever drank. I think the night I had my girls kind of party with stripper and everything, the boys took him out to a stripper. He had one drink, and would get really short of breath. He just turned completely red. My uncle is Japanese too. Lots of people I found Asian people have a hard time sometimes with alcohol.
Which is kind of strange because the Japanese make that rice wine, the sake, which is powerful. I can't drink it.
See, I can't. I never found sake to be all that great. I mean, it's usually
it's only 60. It hot or cold? Because if you drink it,
no, but it's usually it hits you
fast.
Most people don't notice sake is usually only 60 or 70 proof, and to me, that's like drinking water.
That's right.
But they usually warm up to 96 degrees, which is your body temperature. So your body absorbs it almost instantly. So it hits.
Now I tell you what I have had. A friend of mine, we used to. My family owned some clubs when I was younger, but we had some friends that used to make these evaporating alcohol drinks. So when you pop it into your mouth instead of drinking it, the whole thing would just evaporate in your mouth and in your sinuses. Boy, talk about you up. It was like you'd be like, whoa, what the hell? And it didn't last for long. You kind of, you'd get the residual alcohol in your system, but still, it was a different way of doing it. It was
doing an alcohol with it.
And but we used to do all kinds of stuff like that. But I'm going out with Michelle and Laura Lee. I'm going to Canada. We're going drinking. I can already tell. Drink.
Michelle, the Canadian girls, you sure you want to take us on?
Hey! I'm coming armed.
Laura
Lee's gonna bring the cage.
I got a game for you. It's called Tequila Pigs, but I don't like tequila, so we played it with what's that stuff? Not ouzo. It's like that stuff. I forget what the name of it is.
Anise.
Pardon?
Anise.
Zambuca. Dell's got it right. Zambuca.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's the Italian version of ouzo. Yeah, but there's another called anise, which is very, very powerful.
No, I know. I don't like black licorice, but you play pigs, and you got to roll the pigs, and depending on the positions, you got to take a drink.
Oh, I have that game. Yeah, I have that game. Joe, don't do it. I went when I was a lifeguard. All the girls I worked with were Catholic high school girls. They would drink all of us dudes under the table, and me and the other 3 lifeguards one time. There were 4 of us guys playing against 5 or 6 Catholic high school girls. They got us so drunk playing quarters. All 4 of us were standing in line, and I was the last one in line, and I tapped the guy in front of me, Charlie, and I'm like, "Hey, Charlie, do you think Anthony would mind if I go into his bathroom here and make myself puke?" He's like, "Well, what do you think Anthony's doing in there right now? That's why we're all here." So we all forced ourselves to puke in the toilet, went back, and we nailed those girls. We got them so drunk that they wouldn't go make themselves puke. We did, so we got them falling over drunk. It was a good party.
I was wild when I was young. I am my sister-in-law's sister. My sister-in-law is so straight-laced. Del knows her, Joy, but her sister's wild. We were in a bar, the Stanley Hotel. It's not the Stanley Hotel you guys know. It's around here, and we had the whole bar playing bum darts. It's called. You got to put a quarter if you're wearing a bathing suit, you got to drop it in a jug. We almost got kicked out of there because the bar was going so crazy. So I've done some crazy stuff when I was young.
Bad people. I'm not like that. I'm angelic. Like I don't. You know.
Yeah, sure you are.
I don't do bad things. No, I'm good.
And Dell's got quite the party stories. He's just being quiet tonight.
Oh, Janine. No, I don't drink anymore, Janine. I will if I go out somewhere. But my problem is I'm always driving. Well, I'm always the one driving, so I'm not going to drink. There's where I live these days. They like road blocking and stuff like that, so they'll stop you, take your estrogen. It's not worth the headache. But I tell you what,
a nice fire out at camp there and a bunch of cold beers and that's what I like. Barbecue, campfire, and cold beers.
Oh, I've seen some fun stuff out at camp this summer with Dell.
It's funny. I can only drink beer if I'm tubing or fishing. I don't know why it is. Mainly because if we go drinking, I got such a high thing for alcohol that it's kind of like a waste of time. Because a friend of mine started making me drink German beer. He said, "Look, Jerry, this is 7.3 instead of 2.3 like with American beers." He said, "Drink this, drink this, drink this," and it was better. I ain't gonna lie, but it still wasn't the same as drinking a shot. I mean, I got to drink 2 6-packs to equal one shot. So I'm like, no, screw that. You give me the shot every time. It's
I don't know if it's a fresh air or what out at camp, but all his friends have camps out there too, so it's fun.
No, beer is great when you're out just enjoying it yourself. It's a good thing. Like when we go tubing or camping or fishing like that, it's a great thing to do. Nice and cold, even when it's cold outside, it's still nice to have a cold beer. It's they're great for that. It's just for some reason when I go drinking, or go out, I just don't drink beer. It's just one of those things. I prefer to drink hard liquor almost all the time. It's just I like the flavors better, and I like to. And I'm one of the few people I know who can mix drinks the way I do. It makes my friends crazy because I'll start out drinking this and then switch over to this. And I'll drink some sweet drinks. I'll drink some sour drinks. And I'll just drink some hardcore drinks, and then we like to do tutors a lot of times throughout the night. And them tutors, man, they got some crazy ones. Sex on the Beach is pretty good. Them little watermelon shots are pretty good too. Screaming Orgasms are always good because Screaming Orgasms are great because it tastes like chocolate milk. And it's made with 151. So you're shooting these things and you're like, wow, man, this shit is fabulous. I'm just shooting chocolate milk. And 20 minutes later, you're like, whoa.
I think, Michelle, you said you're a beer drinker though, right?
Sorry?
You're a beer drinker, right? I remember you saying that.
No? Once in a while. Once in a while.
No, I didn't mean all the time. I remember.
Yeah, all the time. No, once in a while I like it. I like Caesars. That's my favorite drink of choice. I do like coconut rum and pineapple juice.
I forgot about that. Actually,
isn't that great?
Coconut rum, yes. And I don't like rum, but I like coconut.
I'm the same, but I like coconut rum. Yeah. So that's usually what I delve into, and a red wine. I have a bit of a hankering for a red wine. So,
nasty ass wine.
Friday night used to be red wine when I lived red wine night at my house with my best friend when we lived together. Everybody knew. Don't call us. Our favorite show, the remake of Dark Shadows, would be on Friday nights. Red wine, then we'd head out to the bar after.
Yeah, I like that.
I could go for a good Paris-Juliet or maybe a Dom Perignon. Something along those lines. Something's got nice, good, get you just sniffing it, get you loaded. Dom Perignon.
Champagne.
Yeah. Well, Paris-Juliet's a really good champagne. And it's a milder champagne. It's got a little sweeter taste to it. The Dons are a little more brute tasting, I guess would be a better way of saying it. Yeah, there's a couple of others we like to drink, but usually one of the holidays we usually get one or the other. My wife likes me to get the Paris-Juliet because it comes with these beautiful flowered glasses, and of course the bottle's hand painted. The glasses and the bottles are hand painted, so they're nice. I like the Don a little better because I think it's got a little more bite to it.
Cristal. You got Cristal.
Has anyone ever tried Freshenet?
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
In the black bottle, it's Freixenet.
Yeah.
It's just Spanish wine. It's a really, really good sparkling wine, and in my opinion, better than Dom.
What? What do you mean? What do you mean is what the guy? We didn't say we're talking about Ghost tonight. And Ghost drink wine too. I can see Michelle all loaded up with a glass of wine and goes possessed because we're like, yeah, what's happening?
That's hilarious. I also have a high tolerance for alcohol.
Yes, I
That's
bet you
what
do.
I said.
That's
you're
why I
kidding
said I'm
me,
gonna go drink
girl.
with
We'll
y'all
drink
too.
you under the table.
Just saying.
So I guarantee you that'll never happen. But still,
No,
that's
I don't
it's
get
rare.
drunk.
I gotta be honest. It's rare
No.
to find somebody who can drink
So,
with me.
I've got a good question for everybody.
Now, I did train my stepkids; they can drink.
Years and years ago, I'll admit to it. My buddy went first. He got a DUI. Then I got one not too long after. He was with me when I got pulled over. So they make you go to a class in Maryland. You have to take a class for like 6 weeks. It costs like $500. And then you go to, well, usually you go after court, you go to this class on alcohol and addiction and what have you. So I did that first. So my friend said, do this. And when you go to court, you'll get a better sentence, which was great because I got time served and like a $2,000 fine, which was woo. But in the class, they asked us a question and they told us about different ethnicities and their tolerance towards alcohol. So who do you think, which ethnic group has the highest tolerance towards alcohol?
Irish.
Yeah,
Really?
that's wrong.
Irish.
It's region. I'd say Irish.
I figured the
Russian,
Russians
I
would
think
do
Russian.
really well.
No, if you ever seen a Russian drink vodka, they get really crappily drunk fast, so they're even worse. No, it's
They're
the
drinking
Egyptians.
crappy
Off the
vodka.
third bottle.
The Egyptians?
You know,
It's the
off the
Egyptians.
third bottle is
Really?
It's
These
the
guys
Egyptians.
drink
The reason is
antifreeze.
because they were the first ethnic group to invent alcohol when they made beer back 2,500 BCE or whatever. So
Yeah.
the Egyptians have the highest tolerance towards at least beer. I guess if you gave them whiskey, they would lose it. But Irish have the best tolerance towards whiskey because they invented
My
tea,
tolerance comes
which is
from
the base for all
10,000
whiskeys.
years of alcoholics.
but-
That's where mine comes.
Yeah, I was shocked. I was like,
Bred
how
into my
did they-
family.
they did
Well,
this?
alcohol is banned in the Arab world, so you'd be hard pressed to find those Egyptians that'll drink.
Actually,
Irishman
when
under
I
the
was in
table.
Egypt, it is banned in some places, but the tourist places,
Most.
because I was
Only
in the hotel
tourists.
I stayed
You had to
in.
go buy a
I was
stamp.
allowed to have alcohol. They had beer. When I went on a Nile cruise for an evening, they had, in fact, not only did they have alcohol, every time I freaking ordered, because you don't want to have anything with ice when you're traveling, right? Because it's not going to agree with you. And so I was just
Right.
having beer to be safe. So I order like a Stella. I'm like, oh my God, they got Stella. The Stella gods are smiling upon me. So I got a regular bottle. And I'm like, okay, it's a warm night. So the waitress says, do you want another beer? I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll have another beer. Sure. So it came in a little bit of a bigger bottle. I'm like, okay, better. So I have that. So anyway, she goes, do you want another one? I'm like, oh, I have one more. Honest to freaking hell, it was the size of a wine bottle. I'm double fisting this. I'm just like, I love Egypt.
Nipple on the end to make your alcoholic baby bottle, right?
I know, and it kept growing, and I'm just like, hugging
Having
it.
a good time.
That was great. It was awesome. So who said they don't have?
Yeah, you're not going to
alcohol?
find that all over Egypt. Most places, like the hotels have a tax stamp that they buy, and then the same for like some of the bars, whatever tourists are. But the people that live there, they don't have the
No,
same
they
benefit,
don't. They don't. No,
Well,
that's what I'm saying.
when I
It's in
went,
the tourist places.
My family, I think it was back in 88, we went down to Cuba for Christmas from December 17th to the 31st.
Oh, you want Castro's kids too?
Yeah. The best thing about Cuba, you get Havana Club rum, and you're paying $2.30 for a 26er, and they just bring you the bottle right to the table. You just buy like a mix for 10 cents a bottle. So like you can get like hammered on $10. A table of 10 to get hammered for $10.
I'm gonna tell you, do it in Kentucky and Tennessee. They got if you go in the club, you got to go next door to the liquor store and get a bottle and bring it back to the club with you. And then you can mix the drink, but the clubs only sell Coke. And the strip joints only, you got to do the same thing.
South
You
America
have
is like that too, Joe. There's some places like that.
But I think a cup of Coke in a strip joint was like
if you
$8.
guys heard how much hard liquor is here, you would die. I probably what helps pay for between cigarettes and alcohol for healthcare, because we go crazy. Go to the States. When you go over the border and go to Duluth, it's about 3 hours away. You go to the liquor store there, go over the bridge, you're in Superior. You can buy 60 ounces of vodka. It's not premium, but like 10, $11. Do you know how much 60 ounces of vodka is here in Canada?
$25.
Like, what? No, like 70?
Oh, wow.
$75.
I'd be quit drinking.
$25 won't even get you a 26 ounces of vodka, and that's cheap ass vodka.
See, I would become an instant brewer at home. That's what I'd become. Because in our country,
Montgomery County in Maryland is like that. It's one of the few counties in the entire country that runs its own liquor. It's the DLC, the Department of Liquor Control. They have one big warehouse in Montgomery County that they store all the beer and all the alcohol, all the liquor, wine, everything. And they only have X amount of space for the cold stuff. So if the cold fridge is full and beer shows up, they leave it in the 53-foot trailers, which usually are refrigerated, but they don't keep a charger on them. So a lot of times the imported beers will stay out in the trucks, in the trailers. The battery will die on the air conditioning cooler, and it turns into skunk beer, and then they sell it, which is really it's the worst.
Okay.
But the liquor is very expensive because it's run through the county, and the county.
That's what happens with us. Like, it's called the LCBO, Liquor Control Board. You can only buy it till like 9:00 at night in Ontario. Yeah. And then I know somebody in California was looking up something, and they seen the beer store. They thought that was absolutely hilarious. That is what it's called. But all our alcohol is run through the government. I don't think every province is. Do you know that for sure, Michelle or Del? I think a couple of the provinces don't run it through the government.
You can actually buy liquor at the LCBO, or you can also buy it in grocery stores, and some of the Walmarts have it.
The same LCBO hours. At least they do up here. Yep. They won't sell it past when it's closed up here. So you can't buy alcohol unless, I guess, you go through a bootlegger or dial a bottle.
In Manitoba,
we're open till like 9 or 10 here.
You can buy off sale, so you can just go to the bar or go to the hotel or whoever has a bar, and you can buy it right from the bar. But
it's expensive. It's super expensive, though.
Mm. Mm-hmm. If you got wild cherries up there, I can teach y'all how to make cherry bounce. Ooh, boy, now they don't call cherry bounce for no reason either, because it will bounce your ass around.
You got some recipes to share. Your fudge recipe,
because I like making things from scratch. The first time I ever tried, I was 16, and I was going through my dad's closet, and like, what are all these bottles in here? I'm like, what the hell is this? So I got one of them out, and me and my friends were looking. I said, what is it? Popping. I said, wow, it smells like cherry. So we started sipping on it. Before we knew we were freaking fried.
Your daddy take his belt off and
power. No, he laughed, but he laughed his ass off at us. We were all 16, 17. And it wasn't our first time drinking, but it was just. And see, when I was a kid growing up, it wasn't unacceptable for kids to drink. When you were 14, 15, 16, it was okay. I mean, my grandpa gave me my first beer when I was 12. And as far as I know, they used to tell me my grandma used to shoot me little neat shots when I was a kid just to put me to sleep.
We've been talking about booze for an hour, man. But I will add this, though.
Booze is good, man. Booze is good.
It's true.
I'll add this, man. I was the most popular teenager because my godfather was the head mechanic for Eastern Airlines. So he would get all these little bottles of alcohol, man. Like, these guys had a thing where they get cases and cases, and you give a case to my mom around Christmas. So we have hundreds of these because she didn't drink. So we had hundreds of these bottles of alcohol. So when I was like 15, 14, 15, I was like, woohoo. I know where these are going. I go hang out with my friends, and I'm like, man, the bartender, I'm like, I got some tequila, got some whiskey.
I'll tell you something, with all this booze talk, I really hope we can get like a liquor sponsor.
That's a good idea, people, if you're listening to us tonight.
Yeah.
As you can tell, as a collective group, we like our liquor, so write to us. We'll get you one.
Exactly.
Good American ones. We'll drink it if they want to sponsor us. I'd be happy. So it's not gin.
Count me in. I'm in. I used to be I bartended off through college and a little bit out when I graduated, so I know some recipes on some nice drinks.
I've done a little bit of that too. Yeah.
Actually, Crystal, I would ask everybody what their favorite drink recipe is, but we're getting ready to go because we're running into another show's times. But there's lots of different things. I got friends that like cranberries and vodka. There's all kind of shit, and it's just. Oh, quick! I was going to answer that question earlier. So this guy asked me earlier, if you want to be cool and you're at Caddo's, order a 57 Chevy with stolen plates. Okay, just go in, walk up to the bar, and tell the guy you want a 57 Chevy, and be sure you say stolen plates because it makes a difference in the way the drink comes out. They're really, really good. You really, really enjoy it. It's a little sweet, not horribly sweet, but really sweet, but they're really potent. So if you're a beginner drinker, drink one and see how it's going to affect you. Okay. No, I'm being honest about this. Now, if you think you badass and you can drink, I want you to walk in Pato's and ask for a mint julep.
Oh, I've had those.
Okay, so now mint juleps in New Orleans are a little different than they are anywhere else.
I'm sure everything's different down there than anywhere
because
else.
They are 196 proof alcohol with a piece of squeezed mint leaf in it. It rings around the glass rim and then squeezed into the drink and stirred one time. That's a mint julep here. So if you think you badass, just help yourself a couple of, and they don't come in a little short shot glass, they come in a tall tea glass.
Nice.
So they're made to really get you ripped. Now,
so are we having a New Year's Eve party or New Year's Day party?
We're gonna have to. So and one more for y'all. Now, they do make a what we call a friend hurricane or a group hurricane or a family hurricane.
Oh, you told me about this.
It's 3 foot tall.
Yeah.
And it's about 1.5 feet round, and it comes with these 4 foot long straws. And you just get a group of people around. It comes out. I mean, and you gotta remember, hurricanes are already made with high-end liquors. They're usually 151, 101. There's a couple of them in there. And you just get your straw, and you sit out on the patio at Pato's. The fire's going. There's a big gas fire. It's a beautiful fire. You can see the stars out in the city, because you're sitting in the courtyard. And you can just drink.
Now with COVID.
Now, most of the time when I bring people to go do this, most people don't even make it back to the car. If you got 5 people
before,
if you got 5 people and you manage to drink the whole drink, you better have a hotel room somewhere close by, because most people are just not gonna make it anywhere.
So are we having a New Year's party or anything, Joe? Because
probably New Year's Eve, because I think I don't know when I'm pretty sure I'm gonna do something on the radio for New Year's Eve, because
let's do it New Year's Eve, man.
We're gonna have
because I'm not on New Year's Eve.
Yeah, there's nothing going on.
Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve. No, I didn't book anybody.
And nobody will have anything probably to do really with what's going on, right?
Excuse me. There's not. That's the thing. There's just not much going on. And
what day is it on?
Thursday's New Year's Eve.
Thursday's New Year's Eve.
Do you still have a Wet Willie's down there in New Orleans?
Oh wait, say that again. I didn't hear you.
A bar called Wet Willie's.
Wet Willie's?
Wet Willie's still exists.
Yeah, they have one in Savannah. I don't know if anyone's ever heard of them, but when they first came out, they had warning signs all throughout the bar. You're only allowed to have one beverage, because it's like the Blue Hurricane or the Hurricane he just described. They have they're frozen drinks, so they're like frozen daiquiris. They have all different flavors. They have Blue Hawaiians. They have Blue Hurricanes. But they put like all high end, like 151 rum, 190 rum, all these high alcohol content liquors in it, and they have small, medium, and large, and they only ever show you one size. No matter what size you get one drink that day. And the reason is because they don't put you out like that 3 foot tower he was talking about. But almost flavor they have is really, really good.
Well, it's funny. The number one requested drink on Bourbon Street itself is the Hurricane. Yeah, and it comes in it's about a 2.5 foot, 3 foot tall tube with a Hurricane on the hand grenade. I'm sorry, not the hand grenade, but it comes in a big long tube. People get ripped on it all the time, and that's the problem. People who are not from here, or people who can't drink a lot of times, come down here thinking, "Well, because New Orleans is famous for its liquor." And there's lots of clubs that have lots of specialty drinks, and they're fun to go try them, and you go have some hors d'oeuvres. A lot of the clubs will put out food while you're drinking, so you don't. One of the tricks is one of the first things I told my stepdaughter is eat before you go out, eat while you're out, eat on the way home. You're not going to get sick, and you'll have a much better time because you'll be more in control of your facilities and you'll be able to enjoy your buzz better. Because if you're going to stay out, because here the way it worked was like we would start playing darts around 6, 7 o'clock in the evening. My wife would bring 2 home fifths, and 4 or 5 of us would shoot darts and for shots. Then we'd all load up, get in the cars, go down to Fat City, and we'd party in Fat City till about midnight, 1 o'clock. And we'd head down to the French Quarter and stay down there till about 4 or 5 a.m. Then we'd come back to Fat City, go have a lot of the clubs would have like barbecue and stuff like that. So we'd go in, get something to eat and drink, and usually walk out of the clubs about lunchtime, because you'd come walking out in the eyes. They had a place called the Aliens. It was an underground bar I used to love. Used to love to go there and dance. And it's just a great club. And it's, that's your typical night out down here. Yeah, so people used to say, what do you mean? The bars close at 2? I said, not in New Orleans. They don't, my friend. They don't close at 2 down here. No, hell no. As long as there's people in it, it's open.
Of course, I want to add that you should drink responsibly. And many of the stories you've heard tonight were irresponsible drinking stories. We're telling you what not to do,
Bad
kids.
people,
What
yeah,
not
bad
to do. Otherwise, you end up like us, unpaid. You know?
Speak for
You end
yourself.
up
I
like
never
that.
once gave some drunk story.
No,
I sat
because
very
you're-
quietly. I
Shows
keep
are
my
good.
drunk stories to myself.
that's right.
There were some drunk stories told
I
tonight.
told my stories proudly, and there's many more.
I wore it like a badge.
Stories of imaginary high tolerance. When you're laying on the floor, you wake up in the morning like, what the hell happened? Oh, there's your
I've had
tolerance out the
days
window,
like
man.
Claire wanted to know
But
if I've
all
ever
I have
seen-
to add to that is Long Island iced teas, man. If you want to have a
drink.
drink, have a long. You know what? You could drink 5 or 6 of them, no problem.
Yeah, and I
Long
like
Island
Long
iced
Island
tea.
iced tea. They're really good. If they're made right, they're really good. And for a poor man's Long Island iced tea, use sweet tea and Johnny Walker Red. It's a poor
I only
man's.
had one time, and it was really good. And the guy actually layered the alcohol, like
Yeah, 'cause
there was
that's how
like
you're
layers
supposed to
and
do it,
layers of
yeah.
alcohol in the glass.
That's how you're supposed to do it.
Yeah, that was like really
That's how I used
cool.
to make that, but I never use tea. I use Coke. I use Coke and
But no, they in a real Long Island iced tea, that's what they do use is Coke.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
Really?
We never put tea in it.
Yeah,
No,
we did Coke too in the club.
No. You only use the tea
Wow.
with the Johnny Walker
Lots
Red
of
with the
Coke.
scotch. You don't use it with anything else.
We use
Uh,
a different type of Coke, the
Extra-
Colombian version.
extra muddy Caesar.
Colombian whites, I think they're called.
But Claire, no, we're getting ready to go, Claire. But to answer your question, I have both seen paranormal events and UFOs when I've been loaded. So yes, I can't deny that. I've seen some hairy, scary shit in the French Quarter. At 4
Although,
o'clock.
obviously, you know what? I have to say, the best drinks are the ones that whores drink, man. That's my favorite. Like anything with umbrella, like a Blue Hawaiian. Like if I go to a restaurant, that's the stuff I order. It's kind of funny because, like, you know, why would you get normal? I'd never order whiskey in a restaurant because you know you're going to pay. You're going to pay, you know, because like for good whiskey, they'll charge you $25-$30 for a glass.
The
of
only
whiskey,
thing
which
down
is,
here
like,
comes with
ridiculous,
umbrellas
you know?
don't have alcohol in it. They don't put alcohol in.
Like
They
some
put umbrellas.
good, a decent
Right.
scotch, you're going to pay, man. So you may as well get like the whore drinks. Blue Hawaiian.
You know,
That's what I like.
one of the funniest thing I ever seen was 2 teenagers getting drunk on non-alcoholic champagne. I laughed
I've
my
seen that
ass off. Oh, they were drunk, falling around. I was laughing, and I still remember the guy. She said, "Oh, you're gonna tell my daddy?" I said, "For what? Y'all ain't. There's no alcohol in that." "Oh yeah, I'm drunk." I said, "No." I said, so I handed him a bottle. I said, "You see, this bottle says non-alcohol." God, give me a break, man.
Hey, shout out to
I
the
work-
Quantum Vortex Energy who are in the chat room.
Hello.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
hey Quantum Vortex, we're just getting ready to go off, unfortunately.
Yes, we're getting ready
Yeah.
to bring in the Kathy Belsky. Yeah, I
Too
think
late.
so.
Talking
Yeah,
all
I
about
haven't asked what she's on.
UFOs. I wish you were here earlier. That's too bad. Well, aren't we doing paranormal on Monday night, Joe?
Yep.
Yeah, this Monday's paranormal. Yeah, and
Yeah,
I think
so
Michelle's
we'll
keeping
just
track
come
of it
back.
for me.
Yep.
So
Sure is. You have to come
now,
back.
Science and Discovery people won't be back until December 8th. Anybody out there asking, looking for it. Next 2 weeks, of course, we're going to be on holiday break. so
December
there'll be
8th
stuff
or
playing.
January 8th? Because we're
Yeah,
past
yeah.
December.
Yeah, so there'll be things playing and stuff. But those, New Year's. Then New Year's Eve, you may hear us here doing something. Christmas Eve, there'll probably be. I'll actually be on. So you'll hear me on. I'll be on the Van Hunt show. So I'll be live that night. I'll pick up their feed and put it through the station so y'all can hear us. Oh man, we're only short for the squares now. There's 6 of us now. There's 7. We just need 2 more. We can play
Yeah, then
squares
we could
game.
be Hollywood Squares.
Yes, Kathy's so sweet and quiet. Then she's
Have a
scared.
blessed
She's
night
quiet.
too, Quantum Vortex Energy. I don't know what time zone you're in, but we're back here. 5 to 7 Central, Joe, on Monday night? We're going to be doing the paranormal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
5. Yeah. And, we will be back. Excuse me. We'll be back. But anyway, we got to get out of here because Kathy's giving us the evil eye at the moment. She's like, "Get
Giving you the
out of
evil eye.
here.
You're the
Let
only
me
one
have
talking."
my show." I mean,
You're just
for-
dragging
for-
our butts along
no,
with
for
you.
a peace-loving like girl, she can put the evil eye on your ass. So you better watch out, y'all.
Kathy, I enjoyed your meditation last Friday. I listened to it and I really enjoyed it. You got a great show.
Wow. I heard that only half of it went through because
On what?
No, you went through. It sounded like you thought you weren't, but you were going through.
Oh my gosh. Well, great. Thank you.
It's excellent.
What do you mean is Dell an alien? No, Laura Lee's the alien. That was just a poor
Me,
bastard that
okay,
got caught.
alien, apparently.
Well, you
I'm
thought
actually
Everybody
gay.
out there, man, and everybody out there in UPRN land, tune into my show Tuesday night, Discovery Paranormal. I'll be talking about quantum entanglement and the reality that you create around you.
Oh,
Yes, and check out Monday on the 21st, The Great Conjunction, Saturn and Jupiter, and The Delicious Recipe at 8 Eastern Time.
And I will be right after him with the Angel Rock on Monday night. I'm having Michael, and Michael, I'm sorry, I'm looking for your last name, can't find it. We're going to be talking UFOs, we're going to be talking
Angry
Bigfoot, we're gonna be talking
Angley.
all kinds of stuff.
It's Angry Angley.
Not Michael Angley,
Am I
it's a
going
different
with
Michael.
And the redhead
See?
should be back next week.
People tune in, think I was going to be there. They'd be like, "What the heck's going on?"
Yep. I need to have you guys back. I still gotta have Kathy. I've been talking to her and Michelle, and then you guys said I gotta have. all
Oh,
you guys
speaking of
back.
that, to the listen audience, we haven't picked a topic for Monday's Paranormal. So if y'all got something you're interested in, write to me before Monday. Don't wait till Monday. Well, no, there's
Ouija
trust me,
boards.
there's lots of.
Talk about Ouija
we've done
boards.
Ouija boards, but we can do them again. Ouija boards, huh? You know what?
How
I quit
about,
doing Ouija boards because Kathy scared me with one. It started knocking on my ceilings. I gave them up. I was like, that's it.
Okay, well,
You got UFO
the
lights over your
21st
head.
Monday
there,
is that's the Great Conjunction there with Saturn and Jupiter, where there's supposed to be
Maybe I'll set up a camera during the shows. But anyway, guys, we got to go because Kathy's being patient, but we got to get out
Have a
of
great
here.
weekend, everybody. Much love.
Everybody, thanks for hanging out. I had
Bye,
a blast.
everybody.
So
Merry
I'm gonna go
Christmas.
down the list.
Bye.
This is the bad one. This one's the okay one. This is the other bad one. This one's okay. This is bad. This one's bad. So now y'all know by looking. If you're watching the cam, you know who has point now. Anyway, guys and girls, thanks for hanging out with us tonight. Coming up next, Quantum Leap with Kathy Belsky, and she'll be on in just about 4 minutes. So please stay tuned, everyone.
Have a great show, Kathy. We'll talk to you later. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Oh,
Merry
I don't have-
Christmas.
Merry Xmas.